Wah! Powerful Greg Fitzsimmons. We're
Coming
live.
out of the gate with a fucking orgasmic.
Yes! That's Donald Trump's face. You ever notice that Donald Trump's face is running away from his skull?
He looks like he needs vaginal rejuvenation surgery on his cheeks.
What happens to a person's face that it just doesn't like their head anymore? Just pulling away.
Yours is hanging in.
But he's not that fat.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, Chris Christie's face is in better shape than his.
Right. Well, being fat helps because, it pushes all the wrinkles out. You get no wrinkles when you're fat. But mine, I'm Irish. When you're Irish, man, you hit 40 and all of a sudden you turn into like a rotten apple core. All the meat falls off the bones and your cheeks sink in. And
They're close to a fix for that.
Really?
Yeah, they're real close. They're close to this guy. I think his name is Dr. Peter Welling, whatever the doctor's name that invented Regenikine, which is that blood spinning procedure that Kobe Bryant, all these athletes go to Germany for. He's invented some way to rejuvenate your body's production of collagen. And they're going to shoot it into old ladies, and they're going to look hot again. Bam!
I'll be all over that shit.
Because that's what makes you wrinkle. That's what makes your skin lose its elasticity.
Right.
It's collagen. And, if you look at, if you go to the gym, right?
Hell yeah.
Do you have, one of those older ladies at the gym where you're like, I fucking smash that? Some lady that's in her 50s, but she's just doing squats every day, just hanging on like that. You know that kitten in that poster? Hang in there, baby.
Hang in there, baby.
She's just hanging out of that curtain.
Right.
She is not going softly into that night.
That's right. No, when you're 23 and you're in shape, you can get out of shape for a few months and then jump right back into shape again.
Yep.
But when you're hang on kitty, you take a week off, you almost won't get back to where you started again.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a picture we're looking at of a cute little kitten hanging from a stick.
Yeah.
When you get to be like that age, getting out of shape is really easy, and getting back into shape is fucking nightmarish. The first day back, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm old.
I went to do push-ups today, and I used to be able to bang out 50 push-ups, because I'm skinny as shit, and I did gymnastics my whole life, and so I just had a good muscle to weight ratio. I fucking struggled to do 15. I was shaking. I was like, what the fuck just... It really bummed me out. I was like, wow, because I said to myself, to get back to where I was would require a lot of uncomfortable pain over a long period of time.
Didn't you have a real shoulder injury or something?
Yeah, I got surgery.
What was wrong with your shoulder?
The cartilage can just wear out sometimes in between your there's three bones that come together in your shoulder, clavicle and whatever the other two are. And so they basically go in, and in two different spots, they go into your shoulder and they just saw away the tips of the bones. Whoa. And then scar tissue forms on each bone, and it acts as a new cartilage.
Whoa.
And you know what? Fucking arm as good as new. Unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How strange.
Everything was great. Other than getting hooked on Vicodin, everything about it was very positive.
How long is the hooked on Vicodin?
9 months.
Whoa. Dude,
it's unbelievable how many doctors will prescribe you Vicodin if you ask.
Yeah.
The surgeon, the primary care physician, the physical therapist, and then I go to a psychopharmacologist for my other little mood needs. And I don't know why this motherfucker started writing me scripts too.
For pain.
Then you got friends. Every friend's got a medicine cabinet, Joe Rogan. Let me make an announcement right now. If you're a friend of mine and you had me over in 2013, you may want to restock your barbiturate supply.
Did you go to people's cabinet and just scoop a few out? Oh, no.
It was bad. I was bad.
That was only 3 years ago?
No, it was probably 6 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I haven't drank in, 25 years.
So was it a slow, creepy thing where it slowly crept in on you? How did you realize it had you?
You don't realize until you stop for a few days and you go dark. If you don't take it for a few days, you get so close to suicidal. Whoa! Because what happens is your receptors for your dopamine get clogged by barbiturates, and you can't. So if you stop taking them, the dopamine can't get into those receptor holes.
Whoa!
Because they're filled. Yeah. So you can't feel happiness until eventually those go away, and that's why it's so hard to kick.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So how did you kick it?
Just went dark, white-knuckled it like I did drinking.
That is how you did. I remember when you did drinking like that. Well, I met you right after you did that. I met you when I think when I met you, you were still drinking, and then like right after I met you, quit.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
And I was amazed that, I know a lot of people. Most people, it's a struggle. You have to go through therapy. You have to go through AA. You have to go through all this stuff. But you just knocked it off.
Well, I did do therapy. And also, my dad was an alcoholic, so I had gone to Al-Anon meetings for probably about a year before I quit. And
also, you knew the consequences.
I knew the consequences. I also knew the steps. Once you learn the steps, it becomes like, okay, I know what I need to do. I need to acknowledge that I have a problem. I need to work on whatever my higher power is. Like, I went through it without going to, because I went to some meetings and it was just like, too many guys, like, those old bits those guys in Boston would do about what was the guy's name? Teddy Bergeron.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, you see these guys at these meetings and they act like they got it all figured out. They're standing up there like, and I could proudly say after 15 years, I no longer crave alcohol. And he's like, I'm in the back and I crack a soda. They're like, where is it? Where is it?
Teddy Bergeron.
Fuck, man.
How many times have we talked about him on the podcast?
Oh,
but he's one of
not enough
all-time greats that people just never found out about.
Yeah, the most raw talent, Jerry Lewis kind of talent, where you just go like, oh yeah, this guy's special.
Jerry Lewis.
Well, Jerry Lewis was a talented dude. You don't see it?
Oh, I mean, sure, but
they're not similar. I just mean God-given talent.
But a weird comparison. Why'd you go with Jerry Lewis?
I guess just the physicality. They're almost like dancers, the way they can move on stage. Like Teddy would just glide around and his like hand movements and the way he'd slide. It was just kind of elegant.
His timing was just impeccable.
Right.
I remember when I was an open mic night guy, like I just started, and Teddy did a set. And he did a set like, just dropped in and did like 10 minutes. And I remember thinking, I fucking know nothing. I don't understand anything. I shouldn't even be up there.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even be allowed to do this.
Yeah.
But the pills got that guy. I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched, I remember the Mattapoisett Inn.
Yeah.
Do you remember that gig?
Yeah, down by
Scott
Rhode Island.
Papacuri used to have that gig. Yeah. And he booked me and Teddy.
Meanwhile, it was like a classy old hotel.
Yeah. Well, it was like a kind of bed and breakfast or something like that, right? So it had downstairs, it had this little showroom, and it was real tight seating and small. It was an excellent gig. Like when you got the gig, you were psyched.
It's a great gig.
And it was in kind of like a resort-y sort of vacation-y area, so people were partying, having a good time. So it was a fun crowd. And I remember Teddy showed up, and he was just zonked out on pills, and it was just so sad to watch. It was like, this guy was an all-time great, and he was just so out of it.
Yeah,
man.
I remember being up at the Andover. What was the club name? It was a Dick Darty gig. It was at a club called Chickland, and what was it? Something Grill and Grill 93.
Yeah, something like that. 99 or 93.
Yeah. And so Teddy comes in on Friday night. And he's late as shit. I'm the feature, and I'm stretching with material I don't have. I'm doing your material at this point. I got my hand above my head doing my Revere Girl impression. And he comes in late, and then I see him talk to the club owner. He's like, I wouldn't believe what happened. I'm coming up 93 North, and this guy sideswipes me, knocks off my mirror. This is after the show. He says, come out and look at my car. And we got to the car, and his side mirror is hanging off. And the club owner's like, all right. So Saturday night comes. I'm up there. I get the stretch sign again. I got to do another half hour. Teddy shows up, and he walks in, and he goes, yeah, I got sideswiped on 93 North. You got to see my side view mirror. The guy's like, are you kidding? It's like, no, it just fucking happened.
Oh,
it's
God.
like, wow.
So he was so out of it, if your guy, he told the same lie 2 nights in a row. That's his move. Just kicked his fucking mirror. Pills, man.
Right.
You were swiping them from your friends.
Oh, yeah. It was ugly.
Brendan Shaw, my friend, had a nose job. His nose got broken in a UFC fight.
Yeah.
And he got hooked on pain pills.
He's Brian's partner, right?
On Fighter and the Kid.
What was he hooked on?
Oxys, I think it was.
Oxy's where you can't turn back. That's the fucking hardcore.
Really?
Yeah, you start out with oxycodone. It's a little bit lighter. Then you get into Vicodin, and
We had those guys on, Chris and Mark Bell from Prescription Thugs. It's a new documentary that's out now on iTunes. They're the same guys who did Bigger, Stronger, Faster and Trophy Kids. Great guys, great documentary guys. While this guy's doing the documentary, he's doing a documentary around prescription drugs and how many people get prescribed them and how insane the business is and how overprescribed they are. While he's doing it, he has to get hip replacement surgery, and he gets hooked on pills.
No shit.
While he's doing the documentary, he's hooked on pills.
Yeah.
And he's got to kind of cover it up, and he's embarrassed because he's trying to put together this documentary, and he's hooked on pills, and then finally, in the documentary, once he becomes clean, then he just comes clean in the documentary and explains.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I was on pills.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, he takes you out to his car and he shows you his car, like how he fucking collided into shit when he was all pilled up.
Yeah.
And he shows all the dents and his headlights hanging off and shit.
Yeah.
It's dark, man.
Well, Philip Seymour Hoffman got back on drugs because he was doing a role that was very... Was he on drugs in the role or was he drunk? But whatever it was, he'd been sober for like 20 years. And going into this place night after night doing this play, he started taking pills again. And, I just don't get why doctors prescribe pills to somebody who's a known addict.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a shit.
I think doctors get so used to people being sick and people dying, and it's like, it just becomes normal to them.
Right.
I had this woman, Dr. Rhonda Patrick, in the other day. She's a research scientist, and she was talking about a lot of the experiments that they had to do where they had to kill mice. And when she first started doing these experiments, she would get really sad and she would cry, and it was just really upsetting. After a couple of months, she's just gassing these motherfuckers like it's Auschwitz. Like she didn't even care.
Right.
You just get totally used to it.
Yeah.
And I think for doctors, you're a doctor for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. All these patients are sick and dying and all fucked up. No one sees you if they're doing great. Everybody sees you because they got a tumor or a broken leg, and you just take these pills and get the fuck out of here.
You're just a mouse. Here, have some cheese and some pills.
Chris Bell, the guy who made that documentary, just sent me a text yesterday saying that I'll forward it to you, Jamie, and you can put it up here. But he was saying that there's a new law that just got passed. Doctors are urged. Okay, that's what it is. It's on USA Today. You can find it from yesterday. New guidelines for prescription to reduce abuse and overdoses. So they're urging doctors to try to do something about this because they're finally starting to realize, and I think a lot of it is just because of all these documentaries and all these internet blogs that are coming out and YouTube videos and all these news stories where people are really kind of grasping the magnitude of this problem.
I just don't understand why there's not one database where you can't have multiple doctors writing prescriptions for the same patient. I mean, if you go to CVS or Rite Aid, there should be a listing of any time you were specifically for opiates. No. Fuck. I mean, didn't stop me. And I can remember getting a fresh bottle, with 30 pills in it and just holding it in your hand like, oh, fuck.
Joy.
Yeah.
A bottle of joy.
You never took anything like that?
No, never. I took one time when I had my knee operated on, my first knee operation, which was a patella tendon graft, which is particularly painful because they take a piece of bone out of your shin and a piece of bone out of your kneecap. And it's attached to a strip of your patella tendon. Your patella tendon is a large tendon that's in the front of your knee. It's this one that goes from your knee down to your shin, right here, that fat one.
Yep.
And what they do is they take a slice out of that, and then they open you up like a fish, and then they use that slice, and that replaces your ACL. So that becomes a new ACL. Because this patella tendon graft is really big. It's really strong.
So you don't need the whole thing.
You don't need the whole thing. So they take a slice of that, and it creates a new ACL. And the pain was pretty insane around the places where they cut the bone out.
Yeah.
It was just like fire. So they gave me something. I don't remember if it was Vicodin or Percocet. But I remember I took it once, and I felt so stupid. Like, I was just like, Durr. I think it was Vicodin. I was so dumb. I mean, maybe it's just my own biology, the way I reacted to it. I was like, I'd rather take the pain. So I sold them to this dude at the pool hall. This guy named Jeff. This guy Jeff, he would buy and sell pills. He was the pill head. He looked like a classic dirtbag from a fucking Beavis and Butthead cartoon. He had like long hair that would go down like this, and one of those mustaches that curled all the way down to like the bottom of his where his chin connected.
Yeah.
He was such a dirtbag. This guy.
He had a pickup truck, rusted out.
Probably had one of those El Caminos.
Right.
Probably didn't have a real pickup truck.
And he would drink beer out of the back of it with some friends near the beach.
Yeah, definitely. He was such a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Nice guy though. But he was, just a classic guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't fucking take these things. He goes, you got them at home? Bring them in. I'll buy them off you. I'm like, all right. So I sold them. I became a drug dealer.
Did you give him the bottle with your name on it?
Oh, yeah. I don't give a fuck. Who the fuck was I back then?
I stand behind my...
I was a nobody. It wasn't like me today or anything with my address or anything. I was just a struggling stand-up comedian who liked to play pool.
Selling drugs.
Selling drugs to a dirtbag.
Slinging opiates at the pool hall.
Yeah, I was psyched to get that money too. It's interesting. Hell yeah. It's interesting what $50 is when you really need it versus $50 when you don't need it. Money loses it doesn't mean anything. Like, that's why I never understand someone that like works incredibly hard, but they're already insanely wealthy and they're doing something they don't enjoy doing. They're like constantly trying to conquer and build a business and keep going and going, but they already have billions of dollars, and what they're doing is making them miserable.
Not only that, take it to a next level where you got a guy like the Koch brothers.
Yes,
and they are not only working way harder than they need to. They've already covered the next 50 generations of kids to never have to work in their family, but they're killing the planet. So if you're thinking about a legacy for your great-great-grandkids, they're going to live in 140-degree Earth with no water, surrounded by fucking, killers, Mad Max.
Do you think that's what's going to happen?
I think so. Yeah. And
you think it's all going to fall apart?
I'm not stressed out about it. I just feel like,
really?
It's going to happen. I'm going to encourage my kids not to reproduce. I think that they're going to skate. They're going to skate through. There'll be a lot of terrorism, and there's going to be a lot of flooding and some crazy storms. The third world countries are all going to be in an upheaval because, the environment is going to affect the poor first, of course.
I wonder how much of it is blown out of proportion and how much of it could be mitigated by new discoveries and new science and new technology. Solar power. Did you know, I didn't know this till Eddie Bravo came over here and I went down the goddamn rabbit hole about Rockefeller.
His grandson?
Well, yeah. Did you know that Rockefeller there was a conspiracy to get people to use oil instead of alcohol, and that most combustion engines work on alcohol.
Right.
And they work just as good, if not better, on alcohol than they do on gasoline.
Right.
And alcohol, obviously, you don't need fossil fuels, you don't need, or whatever you want to call it.
You can use any kind of vegetable.
Yeah.
Right.
Corn,
Yep.
I mean, they run just as good on that.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, between him doing that and then, didn't Ford buy up all the train tracks in Los Angeles to create a car society instead of a train society?
Yeah, there's some sort of conspiracy like that where the automotive
No, I don't think
industry,
it's conspiracy. I think it definitely happened.
I don't mean that it's a conspiracy that it didn't exist. I mean they conspired.
Oh, that they conspired.
Yeah,
right.
They did conspire to do something like that. I don't know too much about that though.
There's a film about it. The killing of the
car.
Killing of the car or something, yeah.
Well, that's different. That's a late model. That's Who Killed the Electric Car. That was when the electric car first... See, they had electric cars a long fucking time ago. And
I went to the Museum of Cars, and the first cars were electric.
Yeah. How about, they used to... Henry Ford had fenders that were made out of hemp. That was something we covered here the other day. Yeah, you could hit them with a hammer.
Wow.
There's videos of him, whacking these fenders with a hammer. Because hemp fiber is insanely powerful and unbelievably strong and really lightweight, more powerful than fiberglass, stronger than, it's amazing, amazing stuff. And so he's hitting it with a fucking hammer, and the hammer is bouncing off this hemp fender that he had.
No shit.
But back then, man, they were all jockeying for control of this emerging industry, and they didn't see anything bad about just trying to control the market. Fuck these trains.
Yeah.
Fuck your tracks.
Yeah.
I want everybody to have cars. Like, they didn't think one day it was going to heat up the planet and polar bears going to drown. You know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if they could have seen a poster of fucking, polar bears stuck on a little, what do you call those?
Ice floats?
Ice floats.
Did you see that video they got recently of a polar bear chasing down a female and her cub and eating the cub in front of her?
No.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, these explorers were there. It was either explorers or it might have been a cruise. But they watched it and they were screaming. They're like, no, no. And he just chases down the female and she's running full clip, but she's got the cub with her and the cub can't run that fast. And finally he grabs the cub and eats it. Eats it right in front of her.
You think it was his child?
It doesn't matter. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. All bears are cannibals.
Yeah.
You know, when there's a real problem with movies like Zootopia, which I took my kids to see the other day, which is really adorable. Very cute movie. Not a problem with the movie, but a problem with what comes out of that movie and these fucking what would you do for a Klondike bar ads and these things that anthropomorphize animals. Here it is right now if you want to watch it. See, that's the mother and the cub running full clip, and there's the big daddy running behind it.
By the way, this will get us taken off YouTube.
Right, so we're just going to watch it on the screen. If we put it on you, can you go full screen with it though?
I did, and it's not going for some reason.
Okay. That's
the mom trying to head off the...
Yeah, trying, but he's like, get out of here, bitch. She can't do anything. He's like twice her size. If you want to stay tuned, there it is. Boom. That's what they do. It's awful. They eat them. I mean, when bears come out of hibernation, one of the first things they do is head for the cubs.
Really?
The male bears immediately go and kill the cubs. They eat them.
The mom is trying to put up a fight. But
a little bit, but she's just so much smaller. She's scared, and she knows the baby's already dead. There's nothing she could do, so she turns and then just runs. She realizes at a certain point in time, this motherfucker might eat her too, which does happen, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, they cannibalize each other. They'll kill each other and cannibalize each other. Oftentimes when you hunt bears, if you kill one bear and you leave it like to go back and get a truck to pull it out of the woods, when you do that, you come back, other bears will be eating it. Bears are all cannibals. But my point was that like people have this idea of what these wild animals are, that they live in harmony in nature, and it's chaos.
Smokey the bear.
It's chaos and conflict and murder all day long. And cannibalism, especially bears. 100% cannibals. Yeah. All of them. Not only when we were in Alberta, my friend who runs a hunting camp up there watched a male bear kill a cub in front of the female. The female tried to fight him off. The male bear killed the cub. She chased him off eventually, and then she went and finished the cub off and ate it.
Oh, no shit.
She ate her own cub.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Damn.
That's harsh, man. Harsh.
I've gotten mad at my kids, but like I pull up a little short of that.
Well, I don't think the male was the father. He might have been, but who knows? He might not even know. I don't think she probably knew either. Right.
Yeah, I thought some bears were just ate berries and shit.
No. All bears eat meat.
Yeah?
Well, all North American bears.
Right.
They don't eat meat exclusively, but they're omnivores, except polar bears. Polar bears are 100% predator. Yeah. They're the only bear that doesn't eat anything but meat. They don't have anything up there. There's no vegetables, so everything they eat is just meat. They eat seals and anything that fucks up.
Yeah, when you look at the territories that certain animals need, like they were doing a thing about mountain lions in Los Angeles. And if each mountain lion needs like 20 square miles of territory just for him. Yeah. And if you get within that, it's a fight to the death. That's it. Those are the stakes. And so this one mountain lion was living up in the Santa Monica Mountains, like above the Palisades, Malibu. And he somehow, because they tag him, he somehow ended up over in Griffith Park.
Yeah.
He crossed the 405.
Did you see what he did? He killed a koala bear.
Oh, no.
He climbed a fence.
No
he climbed a 12-foot tall fence covered with barbed wire, got over the fence, and killed a koala bear and ate it.
Good for him. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Well, they found these mountain lions in San Francisco. Because California doesn't have hunting laws for mountain lions, I mean, they have laws against it. You cannot hunt mountain lions, which wildlife biologists are seriously against, because when you can't control predator populations, they just breed and breed and breed until there becomes too many of them. Like they don't have any predators other than man. So people could say, well, let nature balance and take its. Well, that means they move into your neighborhood and eat your friends.
We're part of the balance.
Yes, we're part of the balance. And we think we're not because we have the internet and the fucking cell phone. But the reality is they don't give a shit about that. So anyway, these mountain lions that they've been killing, because they what they have to do is when they invade neighborhoods, start killing dogs and threatening people, they have to kill them. Well, they killed over 100 of them in the last year. And or 90, yeah. They have to shoot them. They just do it privately. They don't talk about it. It doesn't make the news. But when they shot them, they found out that their primary diet is pets.
Yeah, of course.
Cats, dogs.
Yep.
That's their primary diet. Like there's only like a small percentage of deer in their bellies.
Did you ever see any cats around your house?
I've never seen a cat around my house, but I saw a cat that killed my dog in Colorado. And I saw another mountain lion in Santa Barbara on a fucking residential road.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big?
It wasn't that big. It was like a small dog, like 50, 60 pounds, something like that. But it was big enough to freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, but people know in the valley you don't leave your dog out in your yard.
No.
You just don't.
Yeah, you can't.
It'll be fucking gone.
Well, coyotes mostly.
Yeah.
But the mountain lion that I saw in Santa Monica, or Santa Barbara rather, looked like a coyote. It was that size. It wasn't that big. Like I thought it was a coyote, and then I saw the tail, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's a cat."
Yeah.
Seeing a cat is so much creepier than seeing a coyote.
Yeah.
Because you know that they like a coyote. I'm pretty sure I could fuck up a coyote.
Yeah.
If a coyote jumped on me, I know I'd just grab him by his tail and smash his fucking head off the ground. I'd figure out a way to win. I'd probably get bit.
I think it's because of Bugs Bunny and the Wile E. Coyote. He was such a doof. You just can't take the breed seriously now.
Well, they're scary. I mean, if a coyote wanted to kill you, it would be if a rat wanted to kill you, it'd be a real fucking problem.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure if you could snap and get into full rage psychopath mode, you could probably kill a coyote.
Yeah.
But not a cat. I think a mountain lion, you'd be fucked.
Well,
a 50-pound mountain lion, you'd be fucked.
Yeah. And they spring so fucking fast.
So fast.
Yeah.
They're so fast and they're so powerful. And if you look at their bodies in comparison to they're like one of the most powerful cats, pound for pound. They have enormous wrists and forearms.
And their shoulders are ripped.
Ugh.
I try to get shoulders like that at the gym. I say to my trainer, I want mountain lion shoulders. and so they have a machine, and it's
a shoulder machine?
The shoulder machine, that's the mountain lion one. You put it in this little paws and you growl and and you put on. You know what just happened? There were people dressed as animals at I just did the Addison Improv.
Yeah.
Good club.
Great club.
And there was a convention going on at my hotel.
Furries?
Furries.
Yes!
There were hundreds of furries, and they were fantastic. They had one is a zebra, a lot of unicorns and fucking rabbits.
All mascots, right?
Yeah, it looked like a bunch of college mascots. But then some of them, then you saw the dark side creep in. Like some of them had little studded collars on because apparently at night shit gets a little weird with some of them.
Yeah.
There's holes in the costume.
Yeah.
And there's some furry sex going on.
A lot of furry sex.
Yeah. Yeah, but they were great. I took pictures with 100 of them. I just kept asking. And the thing is they're really into hugging. Like the rule is if you just ask, any of them will hug you.
Really?
And I would go downstairs to get a cup of coffee. I'd hug 3 fucking guys.
That's hilarious.
Can I have a hug? Sure. And they just wrap their arms around you and pat you on the back.
And they all had their helmets on?
Oh, they keep them on. Yeah, they don't fuck around.
When they're drinking the coffee, do they keep it on?
They don't drink anything.
Oh, you were drinking the coffee.
Yeah, I did. But I was talking to the bartender down. I was having lunch downstairs. I was like, these guys drink a lot. He's like, I've sold 1 beer in the last day to these people. They're just uber nerds.
Whoa.
Uber nerds. They all have the ones I saw at a costume had just those pale, puffy faces that look like they're just the only light they've gotten is off a computer screen off the last 10 years. Yeah. And they're really Asperger's-y. We'd be on the elevator and they're like, call out your floors. And one guy goes 4, other guy goes 8. Yeah, there we go.
That's so bizarre.
He goes 8,
wow.
4. That's 4 is half of 8.
We are all looking at Greg's Instagram right now. Did you talk to them?
Oh yeah.
Did you ask them what's up?
Yeah, they said we're in my town. I get made fun of because there's only 2 of us that do this, and then I come here and I just feel so free and so among friends, and there's a bunch of conventions that they go to, like Comic-Con type places, and they get to know each other, and it's like a whole community.
Good for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, man? I mean, yeah, it's retarded, but no one's hurting them, or no one's getting hurt.
I'm jealous of anybody that finds, like, you've always had things you're passionate about, whether it's Taekwondo or, mixed martial arts or whatever. And it's like, to find something in your life, no matter what it is, that gives you a community and gives you something that you kind of grow in over time. It's great. It doesn't matter what it is.
You jealous of that?
Yeah, I never had that. Never had that.
Well, you have interest, though.
I think family became the only thing. Stand-up, obviously. But family is the only thing I ever got really into. Like long-term, committed, don't get sick of.
When you're old, you'll be happy that you made that choice.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that made the different choice and got really obsessed with something else that led them away from their family.
Right.
And then they get older and they realize it was just bowling.
Right.
Like, why did I have to go bowl all over the world and miss my kids growing up?
Right.
Because I got really into bowling.
No, there's a dude who was a big showrunner here in L.A., and I was friends with him. And he got really into horses. He bought horses, and they were up in Pasadena. And he would go up there on the weekends. He'd work all week, and he'd go up on the weekends. He had a daughter. And one night he was in the middle of dinner, and he went upstairs to his room, and he put a plastic bag over his head, and he killed himself.
Are they related? The horses and the killing himself?
Well, I think he was away from his family. He was like, with his free time, that's how he was spending it. Away all the time. And that's the only thing I could think of that would cause it, is like, you ever sit down with your family, and this is the greatest guy. I mean, I love this guy. But it made me think, like, the saddest times sometimes are when you're with your family, and for whatever reason you're not feeling connected. You're just feeling like they're talking, and you're pretending to listen, but you're just in your head thinking, why don't I feel close right now? And, and there's most times you don't feel like that, but once in a while you do. And those are like the saddest moments of my life. Because it's all right there in front of me.
Yeah.
And I can't touch it.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, obviously the guy's dead, so there's no way we could ever really know what his motive was or what the real big factor was that pushed him over the edge.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people just aren't fucking happy. And I think you can narrow it down to a couple different things, or it could be a group of experiences from their life that they've never gotten over. It could be breakups. I know people that have been dumped, like in high school or college, and just really never recovered. They had a love, and then that person just left them for someone else or something like that, and then they never bounced back. They fucking nosedived, went right into the rocks, and just never came out of it.
Never had another relationship.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking, it's normal. I mean, it happens. It happens
it wasn't
to a lot
about
of
that, like you said, it wasn't about that relationship. It was about what came before it. Something set the stage for them to be that fragile.
That's the best way to say it. Yeah, something set the stage. Like,
once I loved and it was a gas, soon turned out had a heart of glass.
Rapture. She was the first rapper.
She was,
or one of them. Right?
Well, no, she was hanging out with the Sugar Hill Gang and all those guys.
Was she?
Yeah,
she hung out with them.
She hung out with the earliest rappers. It was like at CBGB's, and then she'd go uptown. Wow. And she rapped it out.
The Sugar Hill Gang happened, like, it was popular when I was in, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade. I think I was in 7th grade. I'm not sure. One of those. But when it happened, I remember we were in the cafeteria, and somehow or another someone had a boombox or something like that, and they were playing it in my junior high school. It was when I was living in Jamaica Plain. I went to my junior high school was super sketchy. Like, we lived in a very bad neighborhood, and the Jamaica Plain has kind of become gentrified now a little bit. But when I lived there, like in 1979, 1980, I guess when I lived there, it was shit.
Yeah.
It was not good. And there was kids in our class. When I was, like I said, I was 13, and there was a kid in my class that was 17. And
you're not cheating off him during a quiz.
But it was weird. Like, he was there for the first couple of days, and then he left, and then he quit again. He just never stuck it out with school, and he was there for a little while, and then he bailed, and I was like, And I remember the feeling of sadness. And I remember a girl in my class who was kind of a hoe. She was also a little bit older. She was 16, and she was in the 13-year-old class, right? And she asked the teacher, she goes, if you're making out with someone and you breathe out and they breathe it in and they breathe out and you breathe it in, do you need any more air?
It's a good fucking question.
It's not a bad question, but I remember thinking, man, this bitch gets fucked a lot. That's all I was thinking. It's like, she's like, I'm tired of regular air. I just want air only from people who are fucking me.
Right. If your uncle exhales and you...
I mean, hypothetically. Not my uncle.
Hypothetically, if you're in the basement and your uncle is whispering into your mouth...
Like, what a crazy question. Like, if you could just breathe each other's air back and forth. And the science teacher, who she asked the question to, had to explain that you breathe out carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Then he was the first guy that really kind of blew my mind. You have those science teachers, like, or any kind of teacher, like when you're really young, that actually make an impression.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I wish I could remember this guy's name, but he was a Vietnam vet. And he was a very interesting guy because he was very calm, but like people didn't fuck with him. He had this weird air, but he had a beard, which I always thought was weird. It's back when people didn't have beards, like a hipster beard. And I remember he said, if you really want to understand how strange the world is, just go outside and look up and understand that there's no end to that, that it goes on forever.
Right.
And just, you want to hurt your brain, go outside and look up at the sky and realize that space is infinite, which means there's no end to it. And I remember the whole class, 2 16-year-olds and the rest of us were like 13. We're just sitting there like, what the fuck? There's no end. Like, how come nobody ever explained that to me? Like, I never even thought about it before.
Right.
I always knew the universe was big. I always knew space was big. But when he said that, like, no end, like, you start thinking, okay, and then further, and then further, and then further, and there's no wall. There's no end.
Yeah. So there can't be an answer because it didn't come back. Whatever question you sent out there can't come back because it's still going out there. It's like when I think about whether or not there's a God, that's, to me, I just think of the word infinity, and I just think, all right, if science can ever grapple with that, then I'll believe that there's no God.
You believe there's a God?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you believe? Like that there's an old dude in a cloud,
No, nothing like that. I mean, and I can't articulate it that well because I've never set out to make anybody agree with me. It's just my own personal... Part of it is I think I was raised very Irish Catholic.
Right.
And, you learn the Ten Commandments, and, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And, you think about this force in the universe that has all the answers. And I don't know that, like, I ever fully let go of that, but it morphed into my kind of like a Taoist... There's an energy that flows like with nature, and that all energy is part of it, and that your goal to achieve enlightenment is to just become part of that energy, to let go and become part of it. Like that to me is God, is that there is something that has created the initial physical laws of the universe, and that whatever happens within that happens, but that there was something that engineered the way that there are physiological reactions within an atom the same way there are in a universe. Mm-hmm. And I would imagine galaxies within the universe all behave the same way a proton and electron work in an atom.
Well, I think it's fractal. I think that's one of the things that they're starting to realize now when they look into subatomic particles and they try to understand like what's the relationship between atoms and the universe itself. And I think as you go deeper and deeper and deeper, it starts to resemble the universe more and more.
Yeah.
The universe is mostly empty space, right?
Black matter.
Yeah, which they don't necessarily totally understand.
Yeah.
Black matter is this weird thing that they're trying to figure out to try to... from the way it's been explained to me by physicists, because I'm an idiot, and I ask them, I'm like, okay, try to explain this to me. They don't know why these galaxies behave the way they do. They don't know why, and one of the ways they have formulated to try to make it make sense is this concept of dark matter.
Yeah, and they say with Einstein's theory of relativity that it is the black matter that has an effect on the way light bends and the way gravity acts upon things.
Physicists are listening to this right now going, what are these fucking monkeys talking about?
We're not even high.
We should get high and try to work this out.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it really is intense because, when I am feeling down, I do start thinking about the big questions just to shrink everything the fuck down.
Well, I don't know if the word God is serving us very well.
You're right.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
I think it's a loaded word, It's like it's got too much weight behind it.
Yeah.
And also it's got so many meanings that connect to religious fundamentalism.
Yeah.
It's like ideologies that human beings have obviously created, women wearing burqas and, all kinds of wacky shit that's connected to these concepts of religious ideology. When you say the word God, you immediately you have a bridge to these fundamentalist ideas.
Yeah.
And they're not that good.
Yeah. I think it's almost like, again, going back to my Catholicism, I guess it just became a replacement for that concept.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think that there's a lot of stigma attached to it, and trying to get somebody to agree with your God is the thing that's always fascinated me. Like, why do you need a bunch of people to convert and kneel next to you and all have the same beliefs? Why can't you just have your understanding and be peaceful with it?
That's how you know that veganism is a religion.
Yeah.
Because they're all trying to get you to do it too.
Right.
They're all trying to we're going to save the world. Meanwhile, polar bears are eating their kids.
Yeah.
You're not saving shit.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the idea of stopping torture and stopping, factory farming, these are all good things. The less harm we can do is all a good thing. But there's something about that need to convert people. There's something about that patronizing attitude they have. There's something about this overwhelming desire to incorporate other people into their group that completely smacks of religion.
Well, you do that Bikram yoga, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I did a couple classes and then I found out it was a cult.
100%.
They started trying to indoctrinate me into these long-term contracts. And I was like, can't I just come and pay you $25 and take the fucking class? Do I have to agree with you spiritually also?
Well, they say crazy shit too. Like this supports your inverse colon. And okay, can I see some documentation? Can I see some medical studies? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, a friend of mine teaches yoga, and I actually had a conversation with her about it. I'm like,
teaches Bikram or regular?
Yeah, and I was like, maybe some teachers should probably stop saying these things about like medical stuff.
Yeah.
Because they teach you that in Bikram yoga, like they teach you to say that, but Bikram himself is a fucking crook.
Yeah.
He's a crazy con man and a cult leader.
Right.
And he's just got sued for like millions of dollars for sexual harassment and rape.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, allegedly a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he's the leader of this whole thing. Somebody explained to me, an instructor explained to me why he teaches Bikram yoga, and he's like, look, the method is very good. The method of doing it in the hot room, 104 degrees, the poses themselves in that order, the 90 minutes of them are excellent. He goes, I 100% believe in the method of it. But the method wasn't even created by Bikram.
That's right.
It's created by another guy in the 30s.
Yep.
And Bikram copywrote it, but he recently lost a court case where, see, what happens is people get into yoga, they say, I want to be spiritual, I want to be healthy, and they start taking yoga. Then they find out about this Bikram guy, and they go, wait the fuck, what the fuck is going on, man? He recently got busted, right? Well, they were like trying to like assess his assets because they were suing the shit out of him, all these people that he tried to fuck or whatever the hell he did.
Yeah.
Allegedly, by the way.
Yeah, allegedly.
I don't want to get sued, but they found he had a warehouse filled with like Rolls Royces and Bentleys and shit. And you know what his explanation was? He was going to start an automotive engineering school for children, and that's why he got these cars. That's his fucking explanation.
Well, you got to understand, kids. They want to work on large motors.
Only Bentleys.
And Bentleys.
They're into bling bling cars.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Fucking dipshit.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my
Well,
God.
it's amazing because, you yoga it can be spiritual, but it can also be like I used to go to this place called Yaz in Venice Beach, and it was yoga and spinning together. So you'd get on a spin bike it was perfect, 1 hour, 30 minutes on a spin bike, and then 30 minutes of like power yoga. And you walked out with like a great cardio workout, stretched out, and they didn't utter a word about anything spiritual because it was sort of like the antidote to like Bikram, where they're trying to suck you into something.
Right.
But I miss that little vinyasa at the end. I like a little bit of like a meditation that's led in a very simple way, because it's like you're already in that almost sub-REM state, and then physically it's just so much easier to go into that mental. You've really earned that meditation.
Well, it's 90 minutes too.
Yeah.
90 minutes is fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do a 90-minute class at 104 degrees where you're stretching out. But what I find, one of the big benefits of it, not just physical, because there's some massive physical benefits. First of all, my back feels amazing since I've been doing it. And I've been doing it like real steady every week since about August, somewhere around then, where it was when I started.
You do it once a week?
Sometimes twice a week, but mostly once a week. But I'm going to try to do 3 times a week. What I'm going to try to do now, because of I've dedicated myself to this new diet, and I talked about it a lot. And one of the things I found out is if you talk about something like on a podcast and you say, hey, for the next 60 days, I'm not going to have any added sugar, no grains, no this, no that. Like, you just do it because you've already said it.
Right.
And then other people hear it, the people that listen to the podcast, they go, oh, well, I'll fucking try that too.
Yeah.
And then I hear about all the benefits these people are having from the diet. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to just, because if it was just me, if I said, I'll give this a shot.
Yeah.
And then I pass by some place with a chocolate croissant, I'm like, fuck yeah, give me that.
Yeah.
But I can't, so I'm not doing it. So
right.
So
and then these other people follow.
Yeah.
And soon you're going to have a fucking fleet of Rolls Royces.
No, my cult's free. It's no entry fee. You can leave whatever you want.
YouTube cult.
But my idea is that I'm going to commit to doing it 3 days a week, because 3 days a week is fucking hard for me. It's very difficult. So I'm going to do 60 days of 3 days a week. I'm going to see how that feels.
But the tough thing is, I found when I did it, I couldn't do shit. I had like 2 spots that night, and I was still not 100%. I was a little lightheaded still.
Well, you probably need to rehydrate.
Yeah.
You probably needed more water.
And also electrolytes. Somebody told me you got to get a lot of...
Yeah, you sweat a lot, man.
Yeah.
104 degrees. You're pouring sweat.
Right, pouring.
By the end of it, I mean, I'm fucking drenched. And I have this huge, thermos that I fill with ice and water before the class. And by the end of it, it's empty.
Yeah.
The idea that I could drink that much water in 90 minutes is crazy.
Yeah.
And the idea that I just go right through it. Mm-hmm. It's just so hot in there. But the benefits for your body are definitely legit. Like, my flexibility is fantastic right now. My back feels amazing. And the big one, though, is how shit just rolls off your back.
Yeah.
Like, things don't bother me.
Really?
The way they would bother me if I wasn't doing it.
No shit.
Man. Yeah, it's amazing. The example I use is this guy rear-ended my car, my Porsche.
While you're at a stoplight?
No, even worse. It was there was a construction on the highway, and this guy wasn't fucking paying attention. He was looking at his phone, and it was from Mexico, no driver's license. Illegal. Slams on his brakes, plows into me with his Honda Civic, just wrecks his car. His car was totaled. My car was actually not that bad. They just had to replace, because Porsches actually design their cars incredibly well.
Yeah.
And they have this collision bar behind the engine that accordions when it gets hit, and it completely protected the engine.
No shit.
Yeah, so it was only like a 2-week fix.
Yeah.
I sent it back to Sharkworks in Northern California. They fixed it. I had it back in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Fine, good as new.
But no compensation from the other driver.
Allegedly he has some insurance, so we'll see. But most likely no.
Yeah.
But the thing is, man, what I saw the guy hit his. I looked at him. He wasn't paying attention. I looked him look up. I saw the look in his eyes. Like you realize, like, right before he hits, this fucking guy, he slammed on his brakes right before he hit. And luckily, he wasn't going too fast because traffic was going kind of slow. But I got out and I wasn't upset. It was weird.
Wow.
I mean, I fucking love that car.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a rare car. There's very few of them. You can't get them anymore. Like, if you buy them, they're extremely hard to find. And mine is really rare because it was done by Sharkworks, which is this company in Northern California.
Yeah, you told me about
all the shit to it. So, but I got out, and the first thing I did, I go up to him, I go, "You okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I'm like, "Okay, well, we're both okay." And I swear to God, man, I wasn't even upset. I was not upset. I was like level. And it was because I did yoga that day and I'd done it another day that week. And I was on my way to the store. That was what I was worried about, was I was going to miss my spot. Because, I usually give myself I like to get there 20 minutes before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this might fuck me up,
Right.
But I really attribute that to just there's a balance that you get from doing something like that, where you're exerting yourself extremely hard for 90 minutes. It's so fucking difficult. And most people don't know. You pass by yoga studios, you look in there and you go, a bunch of housewives playing with their feet. They're not doing anything. But it's a struggle, and it's a mental struggle.
Yeah, you break through some walls for sure. And the thing is I remember I used to take it up in San Francisco. And for years, this is 10, 15 years ago, I used to take it up in San Francisco. I don't know if it was Bikram back then or it was just hot yoga. But when I tried to leave the studio because I felt dizzy and nauseous, everyone in the class was like, no, you can do it. They really encourage you to break through together. It's like a team effort to get through it.
There's a lot of support in that, because if you're by yourself and you've experienced that same feeling, you're usually like, oh, stop right here, relax. But you can't stop because everything's timed. The teacher's timing it, and they're going to push you through it. And everyone else in the class is doing it. It's a 60-year-old lady right next to me. She's doing it.
Yeah.
How come I can't do it?
Right.
We all experience the same thing. Yeah. And you realize that's the thing about yoga is maybe one person might be able to lift a heavier weight than this person, or they might be able to run faster. But the effort that a 60-year-old person puts in versus a 20-year-old person is the same, because it's 100%. You're putting in 100% effort to move your body.
Yeah.
So you might be able to move more or have more flexibility than another person, but the amount of effort you put in is the same.
Yeah.
So class is never easy.
Yeah.
Because it's always 100% effort.
Yeah.
So it's always fucking difficult.
Well, and my friend explained to me, I didn't realize this, but that each pose is working a different organ that you're cleaning out.
See,
you're compressing.
You're not compressing any fucking organs. What are you, a machine?
Yeah.
What are you, a vice? Compressing your organs.
What are you, toothpaste?
You're stretching and holding it.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You're pushing your body. I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of benefits to your organs, because there's benefit to all your muscles. Your circulation is pumping. You're sweating like crazy. There's probably a lot of benefits.
How would you describe the smell of a Bikram yoga room?
Like a foot, underarm, butthole.
Little vagina.
And then a lot of anti-fungal sprays and a lot of deodorants and whatever the fuck they're using to clean it, whatever detergents.
Yeah, you need to let go into the smell a little bit too. At first, that's a wall you get through as well.
Well, the place I go to, they do a great job of cleaning the carpets and vacuuming it. But
carpets,
yeah,
really?
Exactly. It shouldn't be a carpet, right?
Damn.
It should be a hardwood floor. But it's too slippery. Hardwood floors get super slippery.
Yeah.
And people fall and fucking rip their knees apart.
I took a shower afterwards, and usually, I'm always self-conscious in a shower. Nudity was just not part of my upbringing at all. I think, again, Irish Catholic shame.
Right.
And but my dick was hanging low with that heat. It looked good. My balls were fucking just swinging.
Isn't it funny that your dick, especially your balls, literally stretches to get the fuck away from your body? This guy's overheating. Let's get out of here. Hang low. Hang low.
There's an asshole back there. Get away from the asshole. Yeah, and then when it's cold, it hides. It goes, we got to fucking let us in. Let us in.
There's this one weirdo who goes to my yoga class, and he always looks at me like I stole something from him. I'm like, I don't even know you, man. I didn't do anything. I always say hi to him, and he's always reluctant to say hi back. When he comes out of the shower, he cups his balls in his dick.
No shit.
No one can see.
Really?
Yeah, there's something wrong with this guy.
Well, if you can cup both balls and your dick with one hand,
yeah, he's got issues.
I can see why he's hiding.
He doesn't want you to see it. But it's also he looks at other men like they did something to him. I've seen him, and I've watched him interact with other men too.
Yeah.
It's what happened to you, dude?
Yeah.
This guy just said hi to you, and you looked at him like you just stole your fucking girlfriend or something. Right. It's weird.
It's sometimes I was just on the road in Addison, and these guys from Texas, they come up and they got on the crisp polo shirt and the fucking slacks with pleats and
especially
tassels
Dallas.
on there. Yeah, and they're real crew cut and they're fucking built. And this guy comes up and he right in my face grabs my hand. He's like, "How you doing?" And I go, "It's okay. I don't need to buy any insurance today." I get you're an alpha. You're an alpha. You're not gay. I got it. Take it easy on my hand.
Nice tassels on your shoes there, fella. Those
like,
slip-on loafers you got
right,
there.
Right.
Why are people still buying those double tassels?
It's like little bells.
Those little fucking weird things. What are those? The little octopuses that are hanging from the body.
They don't look good. They look
So
stupid.
stupid. But they're so common.
I know.
It's like there's a style that like got created and just they stuck with it.
Right.
It's like ties.
Yeah, ties. The whole idea of dangling a piece of material from in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there they are. Oh my God!
Look how stupid that looks.
And why is it always with no socks?
I don't know, man.
And it's always guys with little feet.
Your feet must stink in those things.
They gotta stink. There's no air getting into those things.
Yeah, and it's leather, your sweaty ass feet with no socks.
It's almost like what you'd see like a bagpiper wear.
It's a weird fetish.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus.
Okay, dork. Right now, where are you? He's texting his girlfriend. She's getting stuffed by some other dude, just gorilla fucked by some guy she met at the gym while he's out there getting a manicure. Well, I was going to go to the gym, but my nails are horrendous.
Yeah.
So I'll call you later. We're still going to do the tapas bar. And she's just getting stuffed.
What are you going to wear, by the way? I want to make sure it matches what I'm wearing.
Don't wear blue because I'm wearing blue.
I'm dressed as Ellen DeGeneres. You'll be able to see me.
I'm dressed as Ellen's wife.
I'm dressed as Porskin de Rossi. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's great. The and he only fucks her up the ass. That's when you're gonna wonder.
You think so? Is
always.
there a guy like that?
He's just
Really?
yeah. She's only taking up the ass, and he's always like got his hand in front of her pussy, and he's jacking it up and down. And she's like, "What are you doing?
You're really specific.
Is there an air?
Fantasy?
Is there an air cock that you're jerking
I
off?
put my tassels on. I need my tassels. Where are my loafers? I want to feel like we're fucking at the office. You don't even work in an office. I want to.
Don't fuck up the fantasy. You're
I
black.
want to be normal. I want to be the executive. Today I'm the executive.
I'm sexually harassing. I want you to sue me while I'm fucking you.
We're fucking because I got a promotion. You don't even have a job. I got a promotion today. Stop ruining it.
Promotion. You get a trust fund.
That world, man. That world that most people who are listening to this are stuck in. That world of like trying to get a promotion, trying to move your way up the company ladder, going to company meetings, hundreds of people all getting together, wives and husbands and fucking shaking hands and wearing your loafers.
Wearing
tassels.
your loafers and trying to figure out what church you're supposed to go to get ahead.
Oh, God.
What country club to join once you get to that next level.
Country club. I looked at houses in, do you know where Lake Sherwood is?
No.
Lake Sherwood is an area like way out near like Thousand Oaks. Really nice place. And it's a giant country club, like a gated community country club.
Yeah.
And we looked at a house there. And when we were there, it's like what is this place? Like this is like what's going on in this place? It's all like people who go there and they play golf because it's like you to sign up and be a part of the golf thing. The golf costs like some insane amount of money a year, like really stupid money. Like pull that up, find out how much Lake Sherwood.
Oh, they're not going to list it.
Country club, but I think it's like $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like something stupid. I might be wrong. Maybe it's $50,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's something where you're like, what? Well, they're just trying to keep out anybody who's not stupid wealthy.
Right.
Does
right.
it say? Does it say how much, Jamie?
185,000.
They list. I thought those clubs would keep that on the down
It's not
low.
on their website. It's the article I found.
Oh, right.
$185,000 if you want to play golf.
Yeah,
there.
because think about it. If you're a billionaire, 185 doesn't mean shit to you, except that people without it can't get in.
Yeah.
You know, it's not affecting your bottom line. It's just an insurance policy. You know, like, and then you see these clubs. Like, there's a club in Santa Monica. I forget which one it is, but you drive past it. There's never anybody on the course. This is miles. Think about the real estate in Santa Monica. If you had a 3,000 square foot store, you'd be paying, $10,000 a month for it. Now take that store, step it into a golf course that's square miles in that same neighborhood. What is that possibly worth? And there's nobody playing on the course.
It's insane. It's insane. And the amount of water.
Oh, yeah.
The sheer amount of water that gets used by golf courses. Like, they did they had a chart that showed all the water that's being used by residential people in houses and regular folks versus agriculture. And, the agriculture is just staggering how much water they use. But the really nutty one was millions and millions of gallons. How many millions are being used by golf courses just in Southern California?
Right.
I mean, it's like a significant percentage of our water usage is golf.
Yeah. Yeah, and they write off the land. They don't have to pay taxes on it as much as normally because they call it, you ready for this? It's like it's considered wildlife.
What?
Like every city is supposed to have zoned out a certain amount of undeveloped land for the environment.
Oh,
and
my
golf courses
God.
were able to loophole their way into that so they don't pay as much taxes. Yeah.
It's a wildlife preserve.
Right.
It's for squirrels.
Squirrels with fucking bumps on their head from getting hit by golf balls.
How many squirrels have been murked by a fucking blind drive? You imagine if you're a squirrel just sitting there, back, a fucking golf ball bigger than your head comes 75 miles an hour.
It's like, wait,
beans you in the head.
Darwin didn't teach me about this. How do I react to this in nature?
My friend Ryan got hit in the head by a line drive, and he said he was fucked up for 6 months.
Really?
6 months, he had massive headaches.
It's a fucking hard ball, man.
I know too many people that have had significant head problems from getting hit in the head. People always wonder why I'm always droning on and on about head trauma and MMA and in football and the dangers of it. It's because I know a lot of people that one knockout and they're fucked for a year.
Yeah, yeah.
Constant headaches,
Right.
constant ringing in their ear.
My son just got his first concussion. He plays soccer, and he got, I think he got kneed in the head in a collision, and he was out of school for a week. He couldn't, he'd go to school and he'd have his head down on his desk in first period and have to come home again.
Wow.
It was bad. And it was like, fuck, man. You don't know when that happens. A concussion can last a day. It can last, like you said, it could go on and on with headaches. And
it's really important to recognize that because there's a lot of restrictions they put on athletes after they've been KO'd. For fighters, they'll say no contact for 30 days or 60 days or something like that. But that's not adequate. Because you really don't know. Each individual case of someone getting knocked out is totally different.
Right.
One person can get knocked out and they're fine a couple days later. And then another person will get knocked out and they're fucked up for a long time. I got TKO'd once in a kickboxing fight. And I was exhausted. It was the third fight of the night. I had fought twice that night before that fight. And part of it was exhaustion. I did get clipped with a good left hook, though. My legs gave out and I went down. I never went out. But sometimes a punch to the jaw is weird, too, because a punch to the jaw, what happens is it's not even necessarily your brain. It's the nerve behind, the nerves. The way it's been explained to me is your jaw, when it moves, can slam into the nerve. And when it slams into the nerve, it short circuits your system.
Yeah.
And your legs give out. It's weird.
Wow.
It's not good for you, but my point is, I was fine after that. I was fine that night. I was fine the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be a good idea if I had another fight after that, but it wasn't I had ringing in my ears and headaches and I was in serious pain. But I had other times, just from sparring sessions, where I didn't get knocked out, where my head was pounding for days.
Just from taking a punch.
Just from taking a punch or a kick. And you don't know. You don't know which day you're going to be fine or which day you're going to be fucked. It all depends entirely on how you get hit, how your body responds to it, what the actual damage is, and you can't tell unless you get in the brain.
Yeah.
They really can't tell. They don't know.
You know who's amazing is James Bond will get knocked out, out. Somebody, a bad guy will elbow him and he'll fucking lose consciousness. He'll get up and drive a car, dance.
Well, he gets pistol whipped, too.
He gets pistol whipped.
They get pistol whipped in the back of the head. They go down. They wake up. Oh, you hit me.
They just get up.
It's nothing.
Keep on going.
That's that pistol whip to the back of the head move. It's always effective.
I know.
You
You
just
never kill the guy.
No.
And also when you're fighting a bunch of people, you can pistol whip. You got to shoot some. You can pistol whip the others, and they'll go down, and you just know they're going to stay down until you're clear, till you're out of there.
When was the first time you saw someone actually get knocked out? How many people have you seen get knocked out in real life?
Bar fights, I've seen tons.
KOs?
Yeah, I've seen KOs in Boston outside of bars.
Oof. Street KOs are the scariest because they bounce their head off the concrete.
Yeah, right.
There's something sickening, absolutely sickening about the sound of an unconscious person's head bouncing off the concrete.
All right.
Oof.
Yeah, I saw this kid when I was about 17. I was at a bar in Tarrytown where I grew up, and this kid, he was on stairs. It was this bar that had an upstairs, and this one kid was coming up, other one was coming down, and they had a beef. And the kid above just fucking clocked this guy, and he fell backwards, hit his head. He was in a coma for 6 months.
Oh my God.
Still not 100%. This, 10 years later, I haven't seen him since, but 10 years later, the guy was off.
Oh my God. What happened to the guy who did it to him?
Went to jail.
For how long?
It's like 3 months.
Not enough.
Nope.
Fuck.
No, bar fights are no joke, man.
Kevin James used to work as a bouncer in a bar in Long Island. Guy he was working with punched a guy. The guy fell back, hit his head off the curb, and died.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just fucking bar fight, bouncer, drunk guy, punches the guy. Jail.
Guy go to jail?
Yeah, jail. Manslaughter, whole deal.
Wow.
Yeah, just
It's no joke. People think it's a joke. You
Yeah.
know, it's like you got all these tough guys that go out to the bars and then, hey, we have a fist fight and, it can end very fucking tragically very fast.
some comic at the Comedy Store got knocked out. Like about a year ago, maybe even less.
Yeah.
He was on a motorcycle and he pulled up to the Comedy Store and he parked his motorcycle and I guess he kept it running and some guy yelled at him, "Hey man, shut that fucking thing off." Like they were having a conversation like over by the patio.
Yeah.
And he laughed at him like because the guy was like saying it like really aggressive. And he took his helmet off, the guy walked over to him and just fucking cold-cocked him and knocked him out.
Wow.
Just for having a motorcycle running.
Oh, shit.
I guess it was one of those loud like Harley things that people love. They love those loud.
Right.
But they say that those are loud. That's good because it saves you from people colliding
Fuck
into you.
that. If I was a cop, they have like a noise meter. That is my biggest pet peeve. You're having a conversation on the street and you have to stop for 20 seconds because some fucking asshole has got a muffler that he jacked up to make that much noise. Like he's, what are you, powerful? Oh, I hate that shit. And you feel it in your chest when they go by.
They're really loud, some of those bikes. Really, really
Second
loud.
only to the truck that has like that massive horn that makes your body go paralyzed for like a second.
Like a dog whistle.
Yeah.
Your body just goes, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah, those loud motorcycles though, like I guess too loud is a problem.
Yeah.
But like a Harley, like when you buy one from a store without fucking with it.
That's fine.
But that level of loudness apparently prevents a lot of accidents.
Yeah.
Because people hear it and then they avoid you. Because like part of the problem with motorcycle accidents, like say if you have like one of those Japanese speed bikes, like, they don't make that much noise.
Right.
So you got to rum rum when you're next to people so they know you're there. Because people are fucking texting and drifting. How often do you look over and you see people texting?
Oh yeah. And I drive a Prius.
Yeah.
Because I'm dead inside, but people really can't hear you. I pulled up today to Valley Park, and the guy's fucking sitting there doing a crossword puzzle, and I'm looking at him, and I finally went, "Excuse me." He's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you." And it's like, you feel insignificant already in a Prius. You feel castrated and a zero.
Yeah, they don't make any noise.
Like here's me flooring it. Then your car.
You know you want to get a nice car.
You've
been thinking about this for years. What holds you back?
I need a little bump of money. I to justify it because the college fund isn't there yet. I got to get a nice little hit. Go out and buy that Mustang.
Did you see the new ones? You've seen the new ones?
Yeah.
My friend Matt Farah
I like the back.
just sent me a text. Apparently, the new Shelby, they have a new Shelby GT350.
Yeah.
And he just sent me a text about it. And he said he's emailing everyone he knows at Ford, just begging them to sell him one.
Oh, they're hard to get.
They're hard to get because it's a Shelby GT350. So they have a PR guy that's going to hook him up. But he said, like, literally, it is the best car he's ever driven.
How much is it?
I don't know. Not that expensive, though. It's like less than a lot of cars, but apparently they're really hard to get, the Shelby. But you don't need a Shelby. Like a GT, a Mustang GT. But one of the cool things about the horsepower wars, like what's all that white stuff on it? Is that just like shininess? What is that? Is that a fucked up part about the is like artifact?
I don't know. It's not on my screen. It's not on my screen. I don't know what that is.
See if you can find another one. It's not on your screen?
No.
Oh, it's only when it transfers over to the television?
Yeah,
Oh,
see
how
that.
weird.
It's weird.
How fucking strange is that? There's other images I'm sure you can find. But anyway, the car is a monster. Yeah. But a regular Mustang GT. The thing is, a regular one. Like, find out how much a regular Mustang GT is. I think it's only about, I want to say it's about 35 grand. They start at 35
GT, I think,
grand.
is more than that. I think a regular Mustang, just like a baseline Mustang, you can get for about 32.
Really? Just not GT350, Jamie. Just GT. Ford Mustang GT. Yeah. How much do those bitches cost? I think, like, well, the thing what I was saying is, like, for the amount of, look at that, 32 grand for a Mustang GT. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of power that those things have and how good they run and how good they drive, it's a bargain. It's an amazing bargain because they have more than 400 horsepower. Those things are fast as fuck. Like, what is it, 430? What does it say there, Jamie? Don't scroll real quick. What does it say? 435. 435 fucking horsepower. 400 foot-pound of torque for 32 grand. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And the interior looks good. They have Recaro cloth front seats.
Think about what it would have cost to make a car with those dimensions 10 years ago. They couldn't do it.
Well, how about this? You would blow the doors off a Ferrari of 20 years ago.
Yeah.
With this car, with this $32,000 car.
Right.
And it sounds great. It's a wonderful American V8.
Yeah.
They look great. I mean, I would drive that 100%.
Yeah.
And it'd be fun. Those are fun to fucking drive, man.
Yeah.
It's a great car. And for 32 grand, whenever we talk about these things, people get mad. They go, 32 grand is a lot of money. Relax.
I gotta get some ads on my my ads have slowed down on my podcast. I gotta hook some up.
If they slowed down because you haven't pursued them, or
no, I think my people.
Your ad people not good. They're slacking. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do all that shit yourself.
Yeah,
you rely on other people to get it for you. They better do their job.
Right.
I'll connect you to my guys after we're done here.
Yeah,
they're good.
Might be time.
Yeah, you gotta. The thing is, you gotta find something you actually like. Like my favorite ads are like Dollar Shave Club or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
fuck yeah, Dollar Shave Club.
Legit.
It's great.
It's 100% legit.
I like advertising that.
Squarespace.
Squarespace is good. Blue
Apron.
Blue Apron's great.
Yeah.
Fucking less than $10 a meal.
Yeah. Finding stuff that that's the whole key to it. Like, I've had a lot of people try to advertise, and I'm like, ooh, I can't get behind that. One of them was like an Uber for babysitters. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Really?
Are you crazy? You're going to have some person come over and watch the most important person in your life other than your spouse?
Just randomly? Because it's cheaper.
Yeah. They're screened. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's certain things you can't go by price.
Yeah.
You know?
Oof.
Yeah, there's some that do you do the betting sites like DraftKings and all that?
Yeah, I did. I had them for a long time. I haven't done one in a while. I like the idea behind it, but some people say that there's issues with how you get paid.
Oh yeah?
Or not how you get paid, rather, but how many people get paid. Like, weren't you saying something like that, Jamie? What were you saying?
When I found out about most of it was like 1% of the players were making like something like 90 to 95% of the money.
The 1%? Oh, yeah? Again, these fucking 1%ers.
The 1%ers.
Goddamn 1%ers.
It's all white guys.
Yeah, white guys that know a lot about sports. But I feel like if you understand a lot about like MMA, and that's one of the things where I like it. I'm like, man, I feel like you can make money. Like, if you're one of those crazy people that goes on mixedmartialarts.com and you're there every day, you know all the fucking stats, excuse me, you watch all the training videos, you know who's training with who, and wow, this guy's got this new trainer and it's going to help him with his. I just feel like those guys.
Did you have any inkling about that last fight, the two big upsets last week?
Yeah, both of them. Really.
You had a feeling on both of them that they'd be upsets?
No, I had a feeling that Holly could get beat by Misha, but I thought Connor was going to get beat by Nate. I had a feeling. I said it to my friends, too, that were sitting right behind me. I took my headset off as they were doing the introductions. I said, this is going to be an upset.
No shit. Really?
Yeah. I could tell. Well, we just saw an upset when Misha choked Holly out.
Yeah.
And I knew that Misha was going to fight real smart. And the way she fought was super cautious on the outside. And she made Holly come to her, which is not how Holly likes to fight. When Ronda fought Holly, it was the perfect fight for Holly because Ronda charged after her like a maniac, and Holly just sidestepped her, blasted her, moved back, blasted her. She just countered her.
Yeah.
And for a person who's a counter striker, that style that Ronda employed is the perfect style. Even more perfect for someone like Holly because Ronda doesn't kick. So Ronda has a short-range attack, and on top of that, her grappling is a limited attack because she only likes to tie up with the upper body. Like Ronda doesn't take anybody down by shooting on their legs.
Yeah.
So I knew that Holly fighting Misha she would have a totally different type of opponent. First of all, Misha's not going to charge at her. She's not stupid. She's not reckless. She's not a fucking crazed maniac like Ronda was in that fight. Ronda was just like a maniac. She just want to smash her face in.
Yeah.
You can't fight like that. And Misha fought like super intelligent, very cautious, stayed on the outside. And then once in the second round, Misha got her down and just dominated her on the ground. I was like, okay, my suspicions were correct.
Right.
Like, Misha can do this. But then Holly pulled it off for the next couple rounds. And it looked like Holly was going to probably win a decision if she won the last round. And then Misha took her down and choked her unconscious. And that was just madness.
That must have been the payout on picking the underdogs on those two must have been huge.
Giant. I think it was 6-1 with Connor and Nate. And I think Misha and Holly was something like 3-1.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I might have made that up.
I think if you picked them both and bet $100, you won something like $1,500 together.
Jamie
Picked them both together.
Jamie bet on Nate.
Yeah, won $500.
Did you? There you go.
Yeah, Jamie was there. I got a picture of Jamie, Tony, and my friend Frosty. The three of them holding up their betting slips right after the fight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they were all
Matt
sitting
Frost,
right behind.
Frosty?
No, Frosty's a sound guy for the UFC. He's a sound engineer. But
I can see Jamie taking that Joe Rogan Experience money and fucking doubling it down.
Yeah, there's them. There's Tony Hinchcliffe too.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I saw a great picture of who was it in the background kissing on the kiss cam?
Oh, Ari and Duncan.
Yeah, Ari and
Duncan.
Yeah. It was fucking great.
Not that before they were kissing, they were throwing up Illuminati signs. They were doing like that. And they waited until the fucking camera was right on them and they turned and kissed. Tongue and everything, by the way. Watch this. Here it is. The camera's on them. And you see them afterwards grab their face like, what the fuck did we do? Oh, that's so fun.
That's like Borat doing that cage match down south. No, Bruno, not Borat.
Those guys are animals. Look at that. They're throwing up the Illuminati sign. See that?
That's so great.
They're probably on mushrooms, too. They get on mushrooms all the time when they do the UFC.
Yeah.
Because you could sit there for a long time. Look at that. Their kiss.
Because the thing about that is you do it in the moment and it's funny, and then all you're thinking about is the two dudes that are sitting behind you the whole time for the rest of the match going, are they going to do that again? What the fuck?
Well, they were sitting in the seats that are right behind me, so they weren't even audience seats.
Right.
Those are production seats.
Yeah.
They're sitting in like the best seats
Oh,
you
no
can get.
shit.
They're 3 feet from the cage.
Wow.
You know, they're right there. They're like, literally, they could touch me. They could touch my back.
I was supposed to be there. We did a gig together in Vegas not too long ago with a fight the next day, and I had to fucking bail.
God damn it, Craig Fitzsimmons.
I know.
God damn it.
No Mustang, no ringside seats. I'm missing it all. Oh, can we plug, by the way, tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yeah. We're at the Improv tomorrow
March
night.
17th, St. Patrick's Day. Joe Rogan joining once again. I believe you did it last year, too.
I've done it a couple times, right?
I've done it a few times. The
fun.
St. Patrick's Day show. We got all Irish comics coming down. Joe McRogan, Karen Kilgariff, Mike Gibbons. We got a special guest I can't even announce. Huge name guest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is he Irish?
Greek.
Okay, we'll talk later.
All right.
Okay.
It'd be good. Tickets, some tickets left. Go to the Improv.
Always a good time. Always a good time.
And,
I have a little Irish. I'm 1/4 Irish.
That's it?
So it's real. Yeah.
All right. You're still
legit.
You're
I'm
still
in
on
there.
the show. Yeah. Yeah, and then we have a party afterwards. Little corned beef next door and some
really?
Irish music and decorations. And
I'm so glad they turned the Improv around and have that bar in the front
I
again.
know. They had
God.
it all wrong for about a year there.
Well, they turned it into like some lounge in Encino.
Yeah.
It was like it was white in there and it
Yeah.
was weird decorations. Like, who designed this?
Yeah.
And now it's dark again and it looks cool.
There was nothing wrong with it in the first place. It was
No.
perfect before.
Well, I don't know why they did it. I don't know what they were trying to do.
Some people can't just leave a good thing alone.
I think they thought they were going to have a successful restaurant in the front
Yeah.
for some reason, and it didn't pan out, and the restaurant didn't work out. They didn't, which most restaurants don't. They say like 90% of all restaurants fail in the first year.
Right.
Yeah.
But they got it back. It's great again. You know?
Yeah, it's
it's
excellent.
back to its roots.
Yeah, it's a great club.
Yeah.
And I like how they have a second room now. They have that lab.
Yeah, the lab's good. Have you done it?
Fucking great.
Yeah, it's
I
really
did it.
good.
That's where I did Ari when Ari first started his This Is Not Happening, the show that was on last night on Comedy Central, which is on every week now. Before Ari had that television show, he started that off in the Improv Lab. I want to say like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And his idea was, and it was a very smart idea, that you would develop stories better and really tighten them up if there wasn't pressure to do like traditional stand-up. Mm-hmm. So like he would do storytelling shows, and he would do them on a theme, like guys who have been arrested,
right,
or people that have done too many drugs or whatever. And he would do a theme on these things, and you go up there and just explore the story. And if you could do that, you would find the funny stuff in there because it's a different format. You're kind of doing stand-up. But then some guys would fuck it up. Like they would go up there and they would just set up punchlines. And they would do just jokes.
Right.
But then like Diaz does it right. Like Diaz would tell you these crazy stories. And they would be funny.
Yeah.
You'd find the funny in them. And a lot of those like became bits.
Yeah.
Because he like got comfortable. And Ari did too as well. Got comfortable saying them in the storytelling format. And then sort of edited it down and honed it and sharpened it and folded the steel. And then it made it become a really solid bit.
Right. That's where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
I got a new bit about... seeing a couple fucking in the hotel room across from me.
Did you?
Yeah, it was fucking amazing. I mean, I won't do the bit. I'll tell you, the story has now turned into a bit that fucking crushes. I mean, it went from, how sometimes you get a new bit and it can take 3 months to become your closing bit because you're still working it out.
Yeah.
This thing raced to closing bit in like 5 tellings of it.
Really?
So I won't do the bit, but I'll tell you the story, which is basically New Year's Eve in Portland. The hotel is like a horseshoe shape. So I'm on the 10th floor, and I look across into a room, and the curtains are open, lights are on. Chick is on her back, legs up, and this dude who's ripped is fucking pounding her. And I'm just standing there looking at him like this is the greatest thing this is the greatest thing that ever happened. I still have my bag in my hand, and I'm just transfixed. And they're really fucking, and then at one point he goes down on one knee, eats her out, stands up, keeps fucking. I'm like high-fiving the glass, like, go, man! And so I had the curtain closed because I didn't want them to see me. But I popped my head through the curtain. So I look like a photographer from the 1930s.
Ah, with one of those.
And then I start thinking about what it must sound like, and this is where it gets creepier. Is I leave my room, I walk down the hall, and I stand outside the room and I listen, and I hear him grunting, and I hear her go, "Oh, Kevin!" So I go back to my room and I call the room.
No.
And I'm just watching him, waiting, and he didn't pick up. But if he did, I would have been like, Kevin! Fucking look out the window, buddy. I'm jerking off. But what's better than some free nudity? Like, you didn't earn it. You didn't have to take anyone out to dinner. You didn't have to go to a strip club. You just see some nudity in a window.
Well, it's way more exciting for sure. Accidental nudity is way more exciting.
Yeah.
There's a voyeur instinct that all of us have for whatever reason. And I don't know why. It's why like those Jennifer Lawrence leaked sex pics.
Yeah,
like,
love it.
Like, she sent that to her boyfriend. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's her like spreading her cheeks and like Jennifer Lawrence showing her pussy and her asshole. Like, oh!
And taking a thick one to the face. Did you see that one?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thick one.
But I don't know, like even looking down a woman's shirt.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law was doing the dishes at our house. She's wearing a nightgown, bent over, looked down her shirt.
Ugh.
Not bad.
That's so fucking gross. Oh, how old was she at the time?
74.
Oh!
You know what? They were full. And they weren't wrinkled. And I thought, this is what my wife's tits are going to look like in 25 years.
Unless she gets on that collagen.
Oh man, that's going to be great for everybody.
Dun, 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 dun. It's going to be weird, man. Gonna see 80-year-old hot ladies.
Yeah.
They're gonna smell like 80-year-olds though. Once they open their mouth, smell tombs.
Bats come flying out of their pussy.
Fucking flies.
You're like, did I
shit.
just walk into a Bikram yoga studio?
Yeah, it'd be nice if like you had an expiration date, you could work up to that date, and everything worked awesome up until that date, and then into the great abyss.
I think there should be an option. I think that you should have total coverage for your health. You know, talk about universal health care. Fucking blue cross to the nth degree. Everything you need. $1 copay, whatever. But then when you turn 73, they just come, you're sleeping, one bullet to the back of the head. Or you get a minimal policy, a lot of copay, big deductible, but you get it for the rest of your life as long as you live.
Yeah, but the shooting you in the head part, why do they have to shoot you in the head at 73?
Because you'll be a drain on the system after
Can't
that.
you just pay more money?
No, because that money has to go back into the system.
Yeah, but you're earning money if you're alive. You
Not if you're
contribute.
74.
Yeah, maybe you're one of those Warren Buffett type characters, still out there hustling.
That's true.
Every day I'm hustling. You know, he lives in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, same
like
house he fucking first had his kids in.
Now, how is that possible?
Flies coach.
How's nobody robbing him?
Right.
He flies coach?
I believe so. Or maybe that was Sam Walton that flies coach. Sam Walton used to fly coach.
My only problem with that is why have all that money then? What's he doing with it?
If I would think there's one thing you want to pay for that costs a little extra, it's business class. It makes a flight from exhausting and aggravating to relaxing. And like if you're in first class, you don't want to get off the fucking plane when you land. You're sitting there, you're watching a good movie, you got some soft leather wrapped around your dirty asshole, and you just got a little mimosa. You're talking to interesting, wealthy people.
Sometimes you're getting your ear chewed off by a moron.
Yeah, that's true.
That can happen too.
That should be part of first class. It's just a fucking little, like
Divider.
a urinal divider comes up in between you and that guy.
As soon as someone starts talking, you just look at them. In your eyes slowly.
Right.
Yeah, there's some people that you sit next to, it's great, but you can't choose. Oh, I was on the fucking plane the other day, headed back from Vegas, and there was a drunk guy that was doing, air quotes, business on the phone.
Oh.
And he was so loud. Tony and I were like, what the fuck? And he was like, well, basically the bottom line is if we get this account, we are set.
Yeah.
And he's drunk and he's being real. I think maybe he was like doing it to let everyone know that he's doing
Of course
business,
he was.
because he was definitely hammered.
Yeah.
The plane takes off, and then within 5 minutes of the flight being in the air, he's out cold, snoring.
Right.
Just drunk off his ass. Probably stayed up all night, got on the flight.
Pig.
Alcohol.
He had some runaway grinding on his cock to a Van Halen song about 3 hours earlier.
That's the good part. Panama. Panama.
Just rocked out to some Van Halen driving over here. They came on the Sirius XM. And Eddie Van Halen is one of the greatest guitar players ever.
Of all time. Unquestionably. He's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
But Valerie Bertinelli.
In her prime.
Yeah. That wrecked that band, though.
Did she? Did she
yeah.
Yoko it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
in a
that.
lot of ways. Yeah, that's why David Lee Roth, that's a big part of why David Lee Roth jettisoned during the prime days.
Yeah.
And then they turned into Sam Hagar.
Didn't enjoy one of those songs.
It was a different band. It was weird. It's because it was still super successful, and maybe even more successful with Sammy Hagar than it was with David Lee Roth. But man, it was not the same band.
It was a different band entirely.
It was weird. It was weird.
It's not like AC/DC, which just smoothly transitioned.
Yeah, like you can't even tell.
Right.
You go listen to old AC/DC and then the new singer AC/DC, which is old still now.
Yeah.
But it's all AC/DC.
Yep.
Van Halen's like two fucking massively different bands.
All right.
But there's like that poppy, bullshitty stuff that became massively, massively successful.
Well, it was like guys trying to be hard rockers. It was like they were playing a character. That's what Sammy Hagar always seemed like to me. I can't drive. You can't drive 55?
55.
Really? You can't? Even if there's a cop on the side of the road, you like literally have to speed past the cop?
55 is a bullshit speed limit, though. That's why they got rid of it.
It's really 65.
now.
But I mean, if it says 65, you can go 74. You won't get pulled over.
Yeah, you might.
Well, on a Porsche, you will.
You can get pulled over.
You're a lightning rod in that thing.
Yeah. In any kind of car, though, if you're going 10 miles an hour over, they can get you.
Not a Prius.
Really?
No, they just
They'll let
look at
you
you and
slide?
they feel so bad for
Poor
you.
bastard. His car doesn't even make noise.
I can't believe he can even go. I'm proud of him.
He's rolling down
74.
the hill like a fucking Hot Wheels car.
Look, he's got golf clubs on the back.
How many gallons or gas, how many miles to the gallon do you get?
You want to hear the sad part is there's a button that you can push on your Prius that takes all the electricity off so that you just drive with the gas, but it makes you like way faster. And I push that every time, so I don't even really get the savings.
Really? It takes away
It's
the
like
electricity?
a boost. Now, I don't know if it completely does, but it gives you. I'm telling you, it is a quick car if you don't have the electricity thing turned on, because it's so fucking light and aerodynamic. It's quick. I'm telling you, I line up on the fucking at a red light. I line up against Mustang GTs,
And they just don't try to beat
don't
you
even
because
try.
you're a Prius.
That's right. We race for pink slips.
Well, it also has no gears, right?
No gears.
It's just one gear.
Right.
Fast, slow.
Yep.
If you fill your tank up with gas, how long does it last?
I don't drive a lot. I live on the west side.
Right.
I drive 3 miles at a time.
Do you still miss Venice? Still miss being in that little tight-knit community?
Well, I'm only a mile away.
Right.
But I'm there. Yeah, I miss it a lot. It makes my quality of life is about 30% worse. Not
Really?
living in that neighborhood. I used to walk my dog. I'd say hi to 7 people, which I know we've talked about. You don't love
Yeah.
that. I love that. I like to be in
Yeah.
contact with people. I like to walk into houses.
Well, I'd
without
love that if
knocking.
it was like you.
Yeah.
If, on my block was Duncan, Ari, you, Callan, Joey Diaz, we'd have a fucking great time. It would
That's
be
the
awesome.
goal. We got
That
to
is the goal.
get a cul-de-sac and all buy houses
We'd
on it.
we'd have to all agree to live together.
Yeah.
We'd have to all find a spot that
Yeah.
we all agree to. But if you could engineer that would
Share
be
a pool.
Yeah.
Have like a rec room where there's a pool
Yeah.
table and a ping pong table,
that could be done.
steam room.
What you got to do is you got to buy like a giant piece of land and then develop on it.
Right.
Develop your own gated community.
Yep. Call it a church. Don't pay taxes.
Yeah. Fuck all each other's wives, right?
What?
Yeah. That's what we do. Take acid, Kool-Aid, whatever we got to do.
Do Bikram yoga every
Well, I'll do
morning.
yoga. We'll bring Bikram in. He'll be the leader. Bring him, put him on the hill. He'll start his automotive engineering school there. Have this warehouse.
Yeah, our kids will all be fucking mechanics.
They'll
by the
all know
time
how to
they're
fix
9.
Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever? Oh, you know who's done that? There's a guy, Uriah Faber, who's a former WEC champion. He's fighting for the UFC bantamweight title. Great guy. Him and a lot of his fighters, they have a house on a cul-de-sac. They call it the Block. Bought a few houses in this area, this one area, because he buys and flips houses.
Yeah.
It's one of his side gigs. He buys houses, and I believe his dad does construction. His dad refurbishes these houses and sells them. So they bought some houses all on the same block. And while he was, I think New Year's Eve, some girl broke into his house, shit all over the place, threw up, some girl that he didn't even know. She was hammered, and she broke into his house, and he I think he filmed it and put it on YouTube or put it on Instagram or something.
You mean his security cameras caught it, or
No, he was there. He was there. This girl came into his house, and she was just completely smashed. He had no idea who she was.
So he just pulled out his
See if
phone
you
and
could-
started
see if you could
videotaping it,
find that. Yeah.
just as an experiment. Let's see what she'll do.
Well, I think he was this is not your house. You have to leave.
No shit.
She was just so fucking smashed. She didn't know where she was.
He could have been Dr. Huxtable that night.
Well, I think she was relatively large.
Yeah.
And here it is. Uriah Faber Snapchat.
Oh, there was other guys there.
Yeah. She locked herself in his bathroom. So he's walking with his phone to the bathroom. See if you can skip through a lot of this. They
And
need to
I'm
learn
guessing
some
he's got the
editing.
right to show this because
Yeah.
it's his house.
Oh, the cops showed up now. The cops are
going
going to kick this girl out.
These are all edited videos live.
Oh, it's
while
all
it's
edited.
happening, and they
You
put
don't
them all
have the good
together.
stuff.
Oh, I see. Do you do Snapchat? Do you have a Snapchat?
I'm not sure if I have it or not.
I do not have a Snapchat, but people like that shit. They like the Snapchat.
Is Snapchat when it goes up and then you watch it and it comes down?
Yeah, it goes away after a while.
Why would you want it to go away, though?
I'm not sure. I think you can keep it if you want. You can make it stay there, and it becomes like a story or something.
Right, that's the new thing.
With all this shit.
I know.
There's too many.
Do you Periscope?
I have Periscoped. I stopped Periscoping. I did it for a while. But I'm on Brody Stevens all the time.
I watch him all the time.
He Periscopes everything.
It's the greatest.
He puts his iPhone on a holster and like Periscopes on his way to work.
Yeah.
On his way to the store.
Right. Just talking.
Yeah.
Well, Joey Diaz doing the morning smoke is
That's the greatest. That's the greatest.
Yeah.
Joey gets up every morning and I think he does it at like 7 o'clock in the morning. He smokes a joint and he starts talking. He gives you like motivation.
Yeah.
Motivational insight from Uncle Joey.
Good morning, motherfuckers.
And he gets high, like ridiculously high. And he's doing it on camera. You just keep seeing him hitting it and smoking. That was one of the ones where he explained his beef with John Caparulo.
He had a beef with John Caparulo?
Oh, my God. Legendary.
No shit.
Yeah.
What happened?
It played out on Twitter where they're both going back and forth with each other.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then it played out at the Comedy Store where Joey apparently and him got into some sort of an altercation recently.
Physical?
Well, Joey spit in his face, I think.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Was it a joke thief thing?
No. You would have to talk to both of them for it to be fair, for me to give you a real assessment of what happened.
Okay.
But essentially, is Joey's contention that John was trying to control the lineups and keep certain people from performing, and
really
that he fucked over other comedians in doing so. John Caparulo denies this, and he says that Joey's a bully and a prison yard asshole and all that kind of shit. And so, obviously, my loyalty is with Joey Diaz.
I'm on Joey's side all the way.
Always.
Fuck Caparulo.
I don't know.
You know what that guy did to me one time?
Caparulo?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He asked me, can I be on your podcast? And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I give him a date, time. We come up with a date and a time. And then it's 11 o'clock. And I email him like, where are you? And he's like, I'm on my way, but there's really thick traffic on the 405. And I look it up on iMaps. It's all green. Everything's green. It's a pasture. There's no red lines. And so I go, all right, well, I'm here. Come whenever. And then he, emails me back like 20 minutes later. I'm fucking wasting my whole day. And he's like, it's not geographically optimal for me right now. And, but I'm free all day if you want to come to my house. Come up to my house in the valley. And I was just like, delete.
What?
Yeah.
How odd.
I don't want to feed into a beef here.
Yeah, I don't think you are, but I think there's something going on there. That's
something weird.
Yeah.
Kind of controlling.
Yeah. I don't know. It might. Who knows? We could talk off air. I could speculate with you off air involving all sorts of various things that people might get really excited about doing. It's a lot of speculation. I never have a problem with him. I've never had a problem with him. I don't know.
No, he's a good guy.
He thinks though that I somehow or another am involved in this.
Yeah.
And so his paranoia is fed into this. He thinks that Joey Diaz is my hitman.
Yeah.
And that somehow or another I'm plotting against him.
Right.
Which I don't even understand why I would do that. Like why? I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know, man. Some people they trip themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is about the Comedy Store, as much as I love it, sometimes that shit gets a little schoolyardy.
Not as much anymore, man. Now that Tommy's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that is also because John was friends with Tommy. And that's also part of Joey's contention is that he pooled up with Tommy to control that place. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I tell my jokes. I say hi to people like you. I hang out with my friends. I don't want to be involved. I don't give a fuck.
You get there 20 minutes early. Say what's up.
all that shit is just a waste of time. There's a lot of people out there that are living their lives just sort of going with the momentum of all these things that people love to do, all the gossipy things, and get involved in controlling this. Think about yourself. Just think about what you're doing. Don't get distracted. And I think a lot of that is a distraction. A lot of the people's fixating on other people. This fucking guy, he's doing this, or that fucking guy's doing that, and man, he's not even funny. Why is he getting on before me? That is all a distraction.
Yeah.
And it keeps you from thinking about yourself. There's a lot of people out there that spend a tremendous amount of time hating on other people and very little time working on themselves.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking trap. It's an easy trap to get into because there's no commitment to hating on someone. There's no consequences if it doesn't go well. So you put your energy into that, and almost like you're like hoping they fail so that it justifies this idea that you have in your head. But you're not benefiting from it.
And it's wasting. You can waste a day. You can stew about something, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, and there was shit that you wanted to accomplish that you didn't do because you were obsessed with fucking Googling the person and finding out if it's a story that people are latching on to. Like this whole thing with Joey. I'm sure it's wasted more of his time than he wanted it to.
Yeah, but he put it on Periscope, and it's pretty amusing.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. And he's smoking pot while he's talking about it. Let me explain to you what that cunt did. I don't know. It's just it is. But
why do people love it so much, though?
I don't know. Why do I love it? I don't know. I don't love it with everybody though. With Joey, it's just entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I love him so much. When he's involved in something, I'm involved whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
I have to be.
Yeah.
But it's there's a lot of wasted energy is my point, And even with Joey, he's done with it now. He won't even talk about him now.
No.
Bring it up now. He goes, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck, Joe Rogan. I murdered them in San Jose. Murdered them. He's just out there smashing. He's hit a whole new level recently too.
Yeah, has he?
Oh my God. He's got this bit. I don't want to give up any of the details of the bit, but he's got this bit where I'm just like the frenzy that he approaches this bit with on stage. Like, wow, he's on another level. He's like hitting new levels.
Well, I had to follow him at the in the main room of the store recently, and he went up and people were doubled over. They couldn't even make noise. It was just cruel what he did to this audience. And then in the comedy store, each act brings up the next act. So he introduces me, and then I come up and he shakes my hand and he whispers in my ear, "Sorry, dude." He knew I couldn't follow it right out of the gate.
Yeah, man, he's a monster.
Yeah.
He murdered in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was with him in Vegas 2 weeks ago. A car theater, 2,000 people. He's fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
That's
He's a
good.
monster. He's just he's hit this level right now where he's just so free and loose, and he's concentrating on stand-up so much. He's really into it, and he's reaping the rewards. Like, finally people are recognizing, like, he sells out everywhere now, like, in advance. So finally people are recognizing how talented he is and how dedicated he is. I mean, it's really just one of those examples of focus and attention equaling results.
Mm-hmm.
Like focusing on something, really honing it, and really putting your focus and your attention on something, and then seeing the results of it. He's just really passionate right now about stand-up. He's always been, but right now, because he's getting so much love, and he's just constantly selling out everywhere, crushing it. So he's like really like feeling it. And
Yeah.
just energized
I think Bill
about
Burr
it.
went through the same thing. He just put massive focus on, he just, one of those guys, he would put writing and performing ahead of other things. Mm-hmm. Be like, hey, man, you want to do a podcast? I can't for the next 2 months. I'm just focusing on stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, well, that's the way to do it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you can always focus more, right? And I think for me, the balance has always been focusing so much that I lose some passion for it. Like sometimes I take a couple of days off and I come back hot and rejuvenated. Like last night was really fucking fun. We did this benefit. Brian Callen had a benefit last night. We did it in the main room. And so last night was Tuesday, so I didn't work Sunday or Monday. So taking Sunday or Monday off, I came in Tuesday like fired up. Like it's nice. You get like, so I think there's this balance of like letting it go, living life, and then concentrating again and coming back at it.
Right.
Like if you grind, it's like grinding too much is not good either, because then you lose a little bit of focus. There's like this weird balance that you have to achieve.
There's also a nice balance between the road and in town. Like if I go on the road, I just did 3 weeks in a row on the road. I came back, I took off like, 4 days or something. And then when I went out, it was like when you'd been running with weights and all of a sudden you're like doing a 15-minute spot at the Comedy Store in front of a hot crowd, and it was like just fucking effortless. It was like you were floating above the room going like, yeah, now I'll throw this in. I'll throw it, like just toying with them, having such a blast.
Well, it's also those long sets that you do on the road. That's what brings everything together.
Yeah.
When you're doing like a headlining set and you're doing an hour and 10 and just sort of sorting it all out and putting it all together, and you get loose and you just do it like Friday night 2 shows, Saturday night 2 shows, and then it gets just so smooth. Like, comedy is in a lot of ways like exercise.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
get in shape. You get in shape for it.
Yeah.
And also like exercise, you need recovery.
Right. When we were young, we didn't recover. I mean, I used to work 6-7 nights a week, fucking every week, year round.
Yeah.
And you kind of need that when you're starting out.
Well, we were like colts right out of the horse's pussy. We just didn't know how to walk. Like,
Right.
we just needed to get on stage to get our stage legs.
Yeah, right.
That's I don't know. It's a strange thing, comedy, because you really think after all these years that you would have it down, but you don't really. No. You're always getting better. You always have to stay on top of it. Never. I wonder if music is like that. I guess it must be, because musicians are notorious for their practice.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that I think I kind of envy about musicians. Like they have to be disciplined. They have to practice. Mm-hmm. They can't practice in front of a crowd. Like they can't go up in front of a crowd with a half-assed song and hope it comes together because the crowd's hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. You can't talk to the crowd halfway through because you didn't finish writing the bit.
Yeah. Like someone said something like about Ian Edwards, like the Ian, like, oh man, he's fucking writing. He's always writing. He's always putting stuff together. Like, yeah, shouldn't we all be doing that, man? Yeah. Like, yeah, I guess so. He was like, yeah, I guess so. But I like to write on stage. Well, yeah, because it's fucking easier that way.
Right.
You go on stage with a half-assed premise, and you're forced to kind of put it together.
Yeah. It's just fear that keeps you from sitting down and doing it. I think people feel like maybe they're not that strong of a writer, and they sit down and they're almost afraid that it won't come together. But then when you have the energy of being on stage, then you can use that. But it's slower. Writing off stage, it takes longer because your energy's not as high. Mm-hmm. But you can lay down the idea at least and the structure, and then maybe it'll get funnier on stage. But you can't start from scratch up there.
Some people can. I mean, some people do. But I think everybody would benefit from both.
Right.
I think everybody would benefit from ad-libbing on stage, and everybody would benefit from writing more. And this is what I try to tell young comics. I'm like, man, you force yourself to write. Even if you only write an hour a day, just sit down for an hour a day. Just force yourself to go over some ideas, and they will blossom, man. Yeah. They will fucking find a way to make it out to that stage.
And they may not right away. Sometimes, like, I haven't done this in a while, but I bought a notebook about a month ago, and I just started writing longhand again. Read the paper for a little while, or just muse, listen to sets that I did on stage, and maybe I started a little tangent and, write that up. And I just fucking fill in this notebook. And it's not all making it right into my act, but some of it is. Some of it goes into the podcast. It's kind of like just a running journal that I can draw from. But I've had bits that I've started a year before and pounded it, believed in it, kept trying to hit my head against the wall. It doesn't work. And then you pick it up again 6 months ago and it just click. It's like you found it. Mm-hmm. But it has to sit latent in your brain sometimes for it to work.
Yeah, sometimes a thing can happen in life, and that thing in life opens up a door. Like, and you go, oh, I could approach it this way. Yeah. Or, oh, I'm looking at it the wrong way. Or, oh, of course, it's this. And I think that's the same way with any kind of creative writing. Anything, whether you're writing stories, you're writing a blog, like sometimes you just have to go outside of it. You write some stuff down, and you go outside of it, live your life, and then reapproach it.
Yeah.
And then, like, every day, my perspective shifts at least a little bit. You know, you have, like, core values and things you believe in and things you agree with and don't agree with. But every day, like, some things will happen in life that make you look at things a little bit of a different way. You know, especially when it comes to current events and politics and the world. And, like, every day, like, people go, oh, man, you were so wishy-washy with some of your ideas. Well yeah, they're fucking flexible. They're moving around a lot.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it comes to things that are happening in the world.
Right.
And I think sometimes you just gotta like let those things let your thoughts sort of roll around without trying to constantly define them, and then reapproach the idea. Then come back to the original notebook or the original piece that you wrote, and look at it again maybe a week later and go, well, now that I've experienced a couple things in life this week and looked at the world a little bit. Like one of the things that Tom Segura and Christina Pazitsky do, we had a conversation, Christina and I, the other day. She said that they used to do their podcast twice a week, and they decided to go back to doing it once a week. And I was like, how come? And she goes, I think it's good to live your life and then have some shit to talk about. Like if you do too many of them, then sometimes you're just talking shit and doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Well, especially because for them it's about their relationship and what's happened in it.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're not bringing in a new guest who can bring new ideas. They're talking about their life.
Yeah. Well, they occasionally have guests, but yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
That's the way to avoid it, is to have guests. You know?
Right.
Like people always say, like, how do you talk to people for 3 hours, 5 days a week? Well, they're fucking interesting people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not hard. You just have cool conversations.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but if you just do it yourself, like Bill Burr is the most amazing one.
Yeah.
Because Bill doesn't even have a fucking guest.
Yeah.
And he's got a couple ideas, some shit he wants to talk about, some things that happened, but he just rambles.
Yeah.
By himself.
Yeah, I started doing a thing. I've done about 5 of them now called the Sunday Papers, where I get the Sunday paper and I read it and I just make some notes and then I just hit record and I go for an hour about the Sunday paper.
I'm going to do one. I'm going to be on vacation this week, after this weekend. And when I go on vacation from doing the podcast, I'm going to put up like a little Instagram question mark. And I'm going to say, just ask me some questions. Throw some questions. And I'm going to just answer some of the questions on bring an iPhone.
You're going to be on vacation with the family?
Yes, my friend.
Nice.
Relax.
Yeah, there you go.
You need more of that, right?
I know. You gotta
more
have some
relax in this life. More relax.
Yeah, we're going to Colorado.
What are you doing?
Next week? Ski.
I thought you were going to say get high.
Going to get high. Well, I'll probably get high. I'm doing shows, but then we're going to go ski after that.
Which part? Aspen?
I don't know. We just kind of rented a car. We'll go get on 70 West, maybe stop in Breckenridge or maybe go to Vail. I know Ari just went to Vail.
He just broke his ankle.
Broke his ankle out there. Yeah.
Fuck skiing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not a skier?
I landed pretty hard last time I went.
Yeah.
A couple months ago. Not even. I guess a month ago. Wiped. Boom.
And that was it? You just said, I'm done?
And I was just like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I do things that are more fun.
Yeah.
You know, I do a lot of things that are really fun. So skiing is like, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt.
Yeah, no,
Whoops,
that's
here
true.
we go. Boom.
That's true. It's almost like the entire adventure is based on not breaking something. It's like the tension between, the scenery is nice and all that, but really you're thinking, don't get hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And it's a fun time for me to be with my family.
Yeah.
It's fun. The kids love skiing. It's a good time. I don't mind doing it, but
just got to slow down. Were you going fast?
I wasn't even going that fast. I go a little bit faster than I should, probably.
Would you catch an edge?
I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
But I remember as I was falling going, uh-oh, this one might be a bad one.
Yeah.
I'm good at rolling, though. I'm good at, I know how to not fall too bad, so I was fine. But I was like, ooh, that was a hard hit.
Yeah.
I walked out of it, no problem, put my ski back on, skied down the mountain.
Yeah.
That was fine. But I was like, people get fucked up doing this
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
I saw a guy get carried away, too.
Yeah, you're supposed to wear a helmet.
I wear a helmet.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
No shit.
Yeah, always.
Wow.
You don't?
No.
Really?
Maybe I will.
Wear a helmet, please.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. My friend got knocked the fuck out last year
shit.
snowboarding, and he was jacked for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, he just fucking whoopsied, landed completely on his head. His feet went up in the air, and he just boom, head first, all head.
Back or front?
Somewhere. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He went out.
Shit.
Yeah, just thump.
Yeah.
And by the way, that thump can be thump, snap. Oh, guess what? Now you're moving around with a straw. You have a straw in your mouth. And that's how you navigate through life.
Yeah.
All because you were into like a thrill.
Well, what about the skiing in trees, going between the trees where it's grooves? You're going between trees, and where your skis go are like deep grooves that your ski has to go directly into. And if you catch an edge, you flip over like a fucking tree.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get that people like it. But like my friend Aubrey is good friends with Bodie Miller. He's that Olympic guy. Ski guy just mangled his fucking leg.
Yeah.
He just wiped out and crashed into something and just fucked his leg up.
They go 60 miles an hour.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. But I mean, even guys who are that good still wipe out and fuck themselves up.
Oh, yeah.
It just seems like there's a lot of fun shit that I like to do that, like, that's one of the reasons why I didn't start skiing until late in life, because I did jujitsu and all these other things that already are dangerous for your body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I should probably like limit the amount of dangerous shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I wouldn't ride a motorcycle. I'm like, I should probably back off of that.
Yeah. I started playing ice hockey again a few weeks ago. Comedians got a little league going.
Bill's supposed to be good, right?
Yeah, he
Is Bill
plays
good?
in it. And Steve Byrne and Ian
Great
Bagg.
exercise.
It's great exercise. You know what? It's not dangerous because we don't hit each other.
Right.
And you don't really ever fuck up a knee or an ankle in hockey because it's ice. You slide. It doesn't stick and turn.
Right.
You just kind of slide. And so unless you trip and fall into a wall, you're pretty safe.
Well, Bobby Orr had mangled knees, man.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby Orr used to come to the gym that I worked at. When I was a kid, I worked at the Boston Athletic Center.
Yeah.
Which is like a Boston Athletic Club, I guess it was. And that was, I was 18, I guess, 18, 19, something like that. And Bobby Orr was this legend, this hockey legend. He was older by then, long retired. But he would come into the gym, and he couldn't even fucking walk. And we would have to help him climb onto the VersaClimber. You know the VersaClimber, that thing?
Yeah.
It's like a pole, and you go up and down and
Yeah.
up and down with it. You'd have to help him pick his legs up because his knees don't bend.
Oh, shit.
They don't completely lock out, and
Yeah.
they don't completely bend.
Oh,
it's
my
like
God.
this.
So it's
he's
like the one thing he can do in the gym?
yeah, he goes like from this, like I'm like from completely straight, he's like 5 degrees like bent. He's always bent, and then it only goes to like maybe 15 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like this tiny amount of bend that he has in his
Yeah.
legs because he's had just massive surgeries all through his knees.
Wow.
You watch him walk. There's his knee.
Damn.
And look at all the cuts on his knees. And by the way, that's back in the olden days. And look at the different operations: 73, 72, 71.
Right.
Oh, 69, 1970. Oh my God.
Yeah, you know how bad the equipment was back then? The skates were like saws.
The skates were bad, and the surgeries were terrible.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to fix you.
Right.
They would fix you, and you just go right. Go up above that, and you can see his knee. Look at that. Yeah, look at that fucking thing. Jesus Christ.
Damn, that is brutal.
It was
Somebody
awful.
else's knee, but
Oh, is it someone else's knee? Oh. Just watching him walk, and he would play racquetball, and I'd watch him play racquetball, and he would just fall down.
Yeah.
He would just like try to like move forward, and he'd just fall. Just couldn't move.
Yeah.
I mean, he was basically left with pegs that barely bent,
Yeah.
and that's how he got around. It's like left, right peg, left peg.
Yeah. A lot of hockey players, they play golf. They retire and they play a lot of golf. That's like the big sports in Canada are golf and hockey. It's the same swing. Slap shot and a golf swing are pretty similar.
Oh, that's Happy Madison, right?
Right.
That's why.
That's right. See, there's real science behind it. But no, I think that football players are the worst. Those guys, you see any football player after they finish playing and they're fucking stumbling around.
Mangled. Yeah, they're mangled. Some of them not. It's interesting how some of them are really lucid. They get through it. Like Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin is super lucid. He got no problems. I mean, maybe he's banged up a little bit.
But he can walk around?
Oh yeah, he's fine. He looks great. He looks great. Talks great.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy, man. Very fucking smart dude.
Yeah.
Very smart guy. Big UFC fan. I talk to him all the time. I see him at the matches. He's
Oh, no shit.
fantastic guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does he do sportscasting?
I'm sure.
I think he does.
Must. He
Yeah.
must. Does he? Yeah. Jamie's knows.
on Sunday morning stuff.
Yeah. With that with the guy Michael Strahan.
The guy from that show?
Yeah. He's so annoying.
Why is he annoying?
He's just trying so hard to be likable. I just don't buy it. It just feels hollow. And meanwhile, I love that Kelly Lee. I could watch her all fucking day.
Oh, that's why you don't like him. So you think he's
maybe.
sending the dick her way.
Well, I don't like the black-white relationships in general.
Disturb you?
They just feel wrong. I mean, I was born in '66 when things were normal.
When things were right. Back in the olden days, before the colors mixed.
When a man could get water from a drinking fountain and not worry about it.
Do you think he's giving her the dick?
I don't, and it's not sexual with her. It is sexual, but it's also, I think that she is
You don't think they look
really
great together?
fucking, no, I don't. I'd look at that
Are you
fake
being
smile.
serious?
I really don't like him. You know?
Do you really have a problem with black-white relationships? Not really, right?
No.
No.
No, but I have a problem with his phoniness and just that she deserves better. She deserves Regis. Regis was the best.
Regis and her.
That's part of my problem is Regis withdrawal.
Well, Regis is doing other shit now. Like, he didn't stop working. It's
He
weird.
had the life, though, man. You know what he used to do to prep for that show?
What?
Get picked up by a limo, get handed the paper, read it on the way to the studio, and fucking go on the air. That's all he did. Just off the top of his head.
Well, he was so relaxed.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Wonder why he stopped doing it.
Maybe the grind of doing it every week, he did it for a lot of years.
Yeah. But he still has a show. He has a
Does
show
he?
that he still has some show that I saw, and it was weird. It was on like Access TV or something, like one of the smaller networks.
Yeah.
So I guess he's probably just doing that for fun,
Wow.
you know, just to stay active or something like that. Like if it was Regis Philbin's show. What is? I'm sure he's got something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but he. I think he decided I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like Jay Leno when he walked away.
Yeah, but Jay's doing that car show.
No, that's what I mean. And then he wanted to do a
Yeah.
little something to stay busy.
Well, he did the car show while he was doing the Tonight Show.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but the car show is so much more him. He's so much better on it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's so
He's great
passionate
on it,
about
right.
it. Well, he's a fucking legitimate car aficionado and nut. He's a nut. He fucking loves cars. So when you're with him and you talking to him about cars, like his eyes light up, he gets excited, like, and he's fun. I did a show.
Did you?
Yeah, we drove my 65
Oh, I saw it.
Corvette.
I saw it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's great.
Yeah.
He's great. I mean, if the public knew him as only that, and and he'll admit it. It's like that was part of the problem with doing that show. Is like I had to talk to people, but I didn't give a fuck about your sitcom or your fucking stupid album that comes out. Like he didn't care. But if he's got you on his car show, it's because he's legitimately interested in your car. That's it. That's the only reason why he does it. He's got all the money in the world.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck. He's only doing it for his own enjoyment.
Yeah, I can remember seeing Letterman with like a country music star on, and you knew that he just wanted to say, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Especially like pop country.
Yeah.
Some whack dude with some designer fucking cowboy hat on and boots that he's never worn before, and they're all shiny and fake.
And his face doesn't change.
Fake rips in his jeans.
Right.
When you see a country guy with fake rips in his jeans, oh, how dare you? You're not a working man. How'd you get those rips? You bought them.
Yeah.
You bought those rips, you fuck.
Does your assistant go out and get ripped? Or you get the hipsters that go out and they buy work boots used that already are like, have
somebody
work
else
done.
has been
Somebody worked
stinking in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to wear your own work boots, you fuck.
Yeah.
Break them in.
Fuck yeah.
Live your life.
I got a pair of Timberlands I got about 15, 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, they feel nice.
God
Timberlands are
damn.
the greatest.
They last.
They're so good.
They were big in the hip-hop community.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? How'd that happen?
I don't know, but I know that when Dom Perignon, one of the brands that got kind of co-opted by
Cristal?
hip-hop. Was it Cristal? Yeah, it was Cristal. And they were very upset that hip-hop had taken over.
Yeah.
Because here they are, like this elite, white collar kind of a...
Yeah, but they started complaining about it, and then the hip-hop community rejected
That's
them,
right.
and their fucking sales plummeted.
That's right. Yeah.
They plummeted. That's interesting, isn't it?
You got to take that money where you get it.
Yeah, but you have a great champagne. What do you give a fuck? If rappers start buying Rolls Royces, you going to be upset?
Yeah.
You know? Come on,
Right.
bitch.
Even if they're spilling your champagne on the floor.
Sounds like racism to me.
As long as it's not spilling it with a white person. Let them spill it with themselves.
It's weird how certain drinks get associated with certain races. Like Crevassier is a black drink. Right?
All right, I'll name a drink. You tell me the race.
Okay. Vodka.
Ripple. Yeah.
That's black, right?
Yeah.
It's a wine.
Manischewitz.
You know how I know that? This is how dated I am.
I know Sanford what you're going to say. Sanford & Son.
Because Red Fox used to drink Ripple wine. Right. That's the only way. I don't even know what it looks like. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Just know.
All right. Manischewitz.
Oh, Jews.
All right. Bailey's Irish Cream.
Irish people?
That was an easy one.
That was the name of it, yeah.
Budweiser.
White people with marital problems.
Were they caused by the Budweiser or just placated by the Budweiser?
All of the above. It's in the mix.
Champagne.
Who buys champagne? Other than like New Year's Eve.
New Year's
Eve is kind of universal, right? Everybody gets champagne. And celebrating shit like weddings. Who the fuck buys champagne on a normal basis?
French people.
Really?
Yeah, French people drink it.
That makes sense. Well, it is tasty.
Yeah.
But what about Americans? White assholes.
What do they drink?
No, if you're a white asshole, you drink champagne. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of one person. I won't say their name.
Okay, say it later.
I'll say it later. Although, you know, when I used to work as a banquet waiter at the Marriott in Boston, we used to do these banquets, and sometimes they'd come in and they'd order Dom Perignon, and I'll tell you what, man, it's the best high. If bad champagne gives you a headache, it's nasty, it's sugary, which is usually sparkling wine. It's not champagne. To call it champagne, it has to be from this certain region of France. It's the only place you can get it to put champagne on the label.
Oh, that's right.
And Dom Perignon is the best, and I'm telling you, man, that shit, it makes you feel so good. It tastes so good. No hangover.
Really? No hangover?
Well, not
How's
like,
that possible?
Not like champagne hangover, which is the worst hangover you can get.
Is there really a difference in hangovers?
Oh, yeah.
What's the difference?
Sugar content.
Oh, sugar content.
Hangovers are all about sugar.
Fucking sugar.
Right.
Well, as it explained to me by Carl Hart, Dr. Carl Hart, who was an addiction specialist, he said what hangovers really are is your body got temporarily addicted to the alcohol. The feeling that you have, the headache and all that, a lot of it is dehydration, but a lot of it is also the compensatory mechanisms that your body puts in place to process the alcohol. Your body literally shifts its sort of scheduling, shifts its organizing of chemicals and all the shit that's in your brain. And then once the alcohol's not there anymore, it's not processing alcohol anymore. And then you have this like, and that's the compensatory mechanisms flooding their way through your system. That's also why people say hair of the dog that bit you. Like when you have a hangover and you have like a Bloody Mary in the morning, it helps you a little bit. It soothes you over that hump.
Well, because it's poisonous. Alcohol's poisonous to your system.
Yes. It's counterintuitive that like more alcohol would help you feel better.
Yeah.
But the way Carl Hart explains it is that it's your body. Your body recognizes, okay, there's this shit I have to process. Let's deal with that. So it compensates for that shit, and then that shit's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going on? Where's all what are we doing? We set up to deal with alcohol, and now we don't have to deal with it anymore. I had him on a couple times, and he's a fascinating guy. Very, very smart guy, and knows so much about addictions and about various drugs and the reactions to the body and all the myths that people have. It's amazing how many myths that people have about like how hard things are to kick and what is instantly addictive.
Yeah.
So
what does he say? Because I hear cigarettes are the most addictive. Not cigarettes. Is it cigarettes are more addictive than heroin?
Cigarettes are super, super addictive.
Yeah. Super
addictive. Well, did you ever see that movie with Russell Crowe, Inside Man?
Yes.
About the cigarette industry,
right.
About a scientist that's working with the cigarettes to try to make them more addictive, and then he goes out with it, which is apparently a real story. But they were
sued and they lost about it.
That's what it is. I mean, they've engineered them to be addictive.
Right. But pot, though, is not, they say, not physically addictive at all.
No, not physically addictive.
But it can be emotionally addictive.
Anything can, like a girl could be emotionally addictive. Should we outlaw girls? You know, like jerking off can be emotionally and psychologically addictive. A lot of things can be foods can be psychologically and physically addictive.
Work.
But one thing that they say about pot is, in rare individuals, it can be physically addictive. But how much so? Is it as physically addictive as sugar? Because sugar is one of the most addictive things that we consume.
Yeah.
You know, I took just a few days off of sugar, and I had fucking pounding headaches.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, whoa. Yeah, I'm completely sugar free now. I don't eat anything with added sugar. I don't eat no processed sugar, no nothing on this wacky diet that I'm on. But one of the things that I found within the first few days was this overwhelming desire to eat it.
Yeah.
Like I wanted candy, I wanted soda, I wanted something. Like within the first couple of days, like my body I'd get headaches, and I would think about, like, I'd see a bag of those chili mangoes that I have back there that are covered in sugar, like insane amounts of sugar, and I just want them.
Yeah.
And it's a sugar craving. It's your body.
Did you eat a ton of sugar before you quit?
Not a ton, but more than I should have.
Yeah.
And it was all in the guise of healthy things. Like, for instance, I was working out with my trainer today, and he had one of those protein bars, and he goes, I said, hey, you forgot your candy bar. He goes, it's a protein bar. I go, it's a protein bar. I go, how much sugar's in that thing? He goes, not that much. I go, how much do you think? He goes, 9 grams. I go, 9 grams? I go, I bet it's about 19 grams. He's like, no. And he looked at it. He goes, 10 grams. And I go, really? I go, how many servings? And he goes, oh, yeah. 2?
Oh, no shit.
I go, those motherfuckers, I'm telling you, dude, it was this big. It was
and
like,
it wasn't a chocolatey one.
it had chocolate on the outside.
Oh, it was, yeah.
But it was 4 inches. It was
Yeah.
this tiny little
Right.
thing, and they were calling it 2 servings.
Yeah. Oh,
those
that's great.
fuckers. Those
Motherfucker.
fuckers. It's only 10 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
And then you look up, and it's 2 servings.
Wow.
Oh, the cunts.
Yeah, my kids eat granola. My wife buys granola bars for the kids, and it's got chocolate in them. I'm like, honey, these are candy bars.
Yes.
These are not granola bar is like, Nature Valley oat. It's got a lot of sugar in it, but there's no fucking chocolate at least.
Right. But even those, if you look at the sugar content, they're like 10, 11 grams
Yeah.
of sugar. You're only supposed to eat 25 grams of sugar in a fucking day.
Yeah.
It's stunning how much sugar is in everything. There's a
Yeah.
great documentary called That Sugar Movie. And it just details how all this happened and how many things have sugar in them and added sugar and how bad it is for your body. It's fucking unbelievable. It's toxic.
And how much worse corn syrup is than sugar.
Yep.
I just did a corporate event in Fargo, North Dakota for the Beet Sugar Farmers of America. And it was all these farmers, mostly like family-owned little farms around Minnesota and North Dakota. And they came in, and I walked on stage, and I go, fuck corn syrup. And the place went,
Yeah, corn syrup just goes right to your ass.
and it's all because they were over-farming corn. It's cheap to make, and it's easy, and the government was helping pay for it. And they went, well, we're not going to stop. What do we do with it? Well, we'll make fucking sugar out
Did
of
you
it.
see King Corn?
No.
Great documentary.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Amazing. It starts off with these guys. They have this project. They're going to grow corn. They're going to like get an acre of land and plow it themselves and grow corn. And they start doing all these tests and find out that their body is like some insane amount of the carbon fibers in their body come from corn. And they're like, what the fuck? So they get their blood work done, all this stuff. And they find this out. And then they start going and examining all the different food. It's in the grocery store and how much of it contains corn proteins, corn syrup, corn byproducts. And then they go deep down into the rabbit hole, the subsidized corn industry and how it all happened, how it all got started. And you leave at the end of that movie like, what in the fuck? Like, we've been co-opted in so many different ways in this country by special interest groups and by people that have figured out how to generate and extract massive amounts of money from particular sectors.
That are not good for us.
Yeah, like this part of agriculture, corn. And,
Ethanol.
Yeah.
Try to figure out how to put it in your gas tank.
Exactly. Let's do that, you fucks.
Not good for your engine.
Ethanol's not good for your engine?
Ethanol's not good for your engine.
But alcohol is. Like if they could figure out how to do alcohol engines, like that Rockefeller thing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with ethanol? What does it do to your engine?
I heard it causes some kind of backup over time. It's
that
no
might
good.
be some jacked bullshit that the fucking oil industry tried to
right,
sell you.
right.
You never know, right?
Do you know John D. Rockefeller's great grandson now is heavily into developing 3D printer meat steaks that come out of a 3D printer.
Whoa.
And it'll be using all like soy type ingredients. It'd be all like, in the printer, doesn't rot, like dry ingredients, and you will be able to. They can do it now. They can make steak chips through a 3D printer that are edible.
Jesus.
And they say it's just a matter of time until they can make actual steaks.
Jesus. I wonder how good that is for you. Well, it'd be probably better than some kinds of meats, but
they say it's good for third world countries because they'll be able to. First of all, you won't have to have all that methane from all the downsides of having cattle.
right.
You can get rid of that, and then also you can set these things up in third world country and feed people, fucking poor people. Imagine them for steak. What you get them to do?
They churn out iPhones like a motherfucker. Right. Hungry? Order steak from the lab. Rockefeller Air invested firm taking.
Wait, scroll down. There's a picture of a steak coming out of a printer. It's hilarious. No, there's not. Wrong article.
These guys, the Rockefeller heirs, do they just get cash? How does that work? Do they just get money and they just start their own startup? What is it? What do you think that feels like? If you grow up like stupid rich where you never have to worry about the future and you're like, maybe I'll make a startup.
That's what it should be. That's the correct use of that money. I mean, if you're gonna get rid of the death tax, or call it really what it is, the estate tax, at least these people like, the Kennedys are doing stuff and the Rockefellers are doing stuff where they're saying, all right, without economic pressure, let me explore and do something a little on the fringes that might work, and whether it's non-fossil energy or whatever, and so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice if you see someone who's given this unusual roll of the dice, some wonderful hand of cards. Nice they, use it in a totally egalitarian way, in some beautiful way where they just decide to donate it or figure out a way to help or put money into something that's going to benefit people.
Right.
Or something.
Start a foundation that's just, trying to create peace, which sounds so erudite and unattainable, but to go like, no, I'm going to work on peace. Just the concept of peace.
It's just rare.
Yeah.
It's rare that someone just looks at it and says, well, hey, I have this opportunity to do something really beneficial for the human race.
Yeah.
Let's take this $100 million that I was born with and put it to use.
Yeah, look what Robert Kennedy's done for the environment. I mean, he's responsible for getting all the PCBs out of the Hudson River and working on making safer nuclear power.
What do they do to get PCBs out of the river? How the fuck do they clean the river?
They got to dredge. They got to go in there and fucking clean it out. Which some people argue is bad because it stirs it up, and what is in layers embedded in the bed of the river. But they say, well, if a hurricane or tornado or whatever comes, it's gonna bring it up in a much more destructive way. So it's better to bring it up.
So they bring it up, and what are they doing when they bring it up? They're cleaning it somehow?
I guess they filter it, dump it somewhere.
Huh.
But then he also just closed up. There was the GM plant. There was a bunch of plants on the Hudson River that were dumping raw sewage in, and he stopped all of those.
How crazy!
And now the Hudson River, you can swim in it.
What?
I grew up on the Hudson River. We used to swim in it, and we were told not to. We were fine. But now they literally have like little beaches set up on the Hudson River upstate.
What?
Yeah, even in the city, you can take a fucking kayak out on the west side.
And you can swim in it?
You can swim in it.
That sounds weird. What if it gets in your mouth?
Then you die. You got to keep your mouth closed.
Keep your mouth closed, stupid. Bars used to pull lobsters out of the river. That used to be bar food.
Yeah?
It was thought to be a poor man's meal.
Well, in
lobster.
Ireland it was, yeah.
Even in America.
Yeah.
In the early days of New York City, they used to just set out lobster traps. And when someone would order a lobster, they would just go pull a trap out and grab one of the lobsters and cook it.
No shit.
And it was thought to be a poor food. Poor people food.
During the famine in Ireland, they were exporting lobster.
What?
Because they wouldn't eat it. They thought it was like a rat.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, fucking stupid Irish.
Eating potatoes.
So stupid. Eating fucking potatoes and sending lobster. Well, we don't have any butter anyway.
Maybe that's what it is. They didn't know about butter.
Yeah.
Once you know about butter and lobster, if someone hold on, before you ship those out, just try this.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots.
Put this bib on. You got to have the bib.
I saw on Instagram this guy cooked a coyote. He cooked a coyote and barbecued it and had barbecue sauce and brought it to work, pulled coyote, And apparently he said it was delicious, and people were loving it.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's a lot of shit you can eat.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't think to eat a coyote. I saw an episode of Meat Eater, Steve Rinella and Remy Warren. They shot a coyote and cooked it over an open fire and ate it.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to see what it tasted like.
There's some good shit. If you go to there's a restaurant called Typhoon in Santa Monica, and they've got you can eat scorpions and
all
ants.
shit that would die in a typhoon.
Right.
Shit that you might find on the side of the beach.
Yeah. If you want to play out the post-apocalypse, come to Typhoon. Tuesday night special. Jellyfish.
Wow, scorpions, huh?
Yeah, scorpions.
Did you try it?
Oh, fuck yeah. It's
What
great.
does it taste like?
Just crunchy, a little salty. Nice.
Well, they must have added salt, right?
It's all good protein.
Yeah. Well, they say that bug protein is really good for you.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, they think that that's going to be the future of protein for the world. Like, they have bug bars, and they're made out of, like, grasshoppers and things along those lines. And it's very healthy. Full amino acid profile. And a lot of people who are maybe vegetarian or vegan and have a real problem with eating animals do not have a problem with eating insects. They're like, well, a bug.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who's vegan. He'll fucking slap the shit out of a mosquito on him and kill it and not even think. Like,
Right.
drop it onto the ground. Like, look at the Singapore-style scorpions.
Is that the...
Is the menu at that place?
That's Typhoon's menu.
Taiwanese crickets, stir-fried raw garlic, chili pepper, and Asian basil, $11. That sounds great.
It's great. We should eat there one night with the wives.
I'm down. Let's do it. Actually, my wife would fucking slap me if I asked her to eat a bug.
Well, they got normal shit too. They also have a pretty good sushi bar. But yeah, I'll eat anything. I mean, I've been down in Florida. I've eaten alligator.
Alligator is really good for you.
Alligator's good, yeah.
The protein, apparently, in alligator, it's supposed to be insanely high in protein and very, very low in cholesterol.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the lower things. It's like right up there with elk and moose are apparently the lowest in cholesterol. They're lower than chicken.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Tough to cook them, though, because they have so little fat. You got to
hard.
really nail it.
It's not hard.
No?
Yeah, you just got to learn. It's just different. It's different than... I got some in the back. You want some? Want some elk? I'll give it to you for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it home.
All right.
It's better, way better for you, higher in protein, and there's zero bullshit in it.
Yeah.
No antibiotics.
Oh, that's true.
No hormones, no nothing.
Yeah.
Wild game. And like I said, lower cholesterol than a chicken breast.
I was in South Africa, and we ate at a game farm, a game park, but they have to thin out the herd of different animals. And so there's a restaurant called Carnivore right in the park.
Whoa.
And they come around with skewers, and they ask you, do you want some, giraffe?
Whoa.
And you go, sure, and they'll give you a couple cubes of giraffe. And it was like when you took me to that Brazilian restaurant in Vegas.
Churrascaria.
Yeah, and they came over with the skewers, and it was like that, but it was like elephant, fucking,
Whoa.
Different kinds of gazelles and shit. They all had a
Did
different
you eat
taste.
elephant?
I did eat elephant.
What does that taste like?
It was great. It was a little gamey. It had a little smell to it.
People right now are screaming.
Yeah.
Screaming. You fucking piece
No,
of
they
shit.
needed to kill it. These are all animals that were dying.
They never need to kill elephants.
They should have saved them.
They should have saved Dumbo.
His family will always remember.
What about Yogi? Don't eat the bear. Don't eat Yogi Bear.
Yeah. Watch Yogi eat his fucking child on the internet.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Bears, man. Bears is something. People have a weird connection with bears.
Yeah.
They get real upset if you kill a bear.
Stuffed bears. The most vicious animal out there.
Oh, we
and
have
that's
teddy
the thing
bears.
we take to bed.
Well, it's almost like we're trying to make them like less dangerous.
Yeah.
Like make them cuddly. Like polar bears are perhaps the most vicious mammal on Earth. They are fucking monsters. This guy Kevin Fitzgerald, he's a veterinarian.
Oh yeah, I know Kevin.
You know Kevin?
Yeah, in Denver.
Yeah, and he we worked together once in Denver, and he said that polar bears, like when you have them as babies, right out of the womb, they're like, "Rah!" and they try to bite you.
Oh no
he said
shit!
they're like, he goes, they're like the alien, like the alien chest burster. He goes, that's what they're like, right out of the womb.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that is nuts. He goes, if they're hungry, they will try to fucking eat you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Damn.
It's like people have this idea of them as being this like fluffy creature. It's like most people live in cities, and most people comment on animals and are animal rights activists and are animal rights advocates. These people that have these ideas about the beautiful nature that we live around, like they don't go out in it.
Yeah.
When you go out in it, you realize it becomes a different thing.
Yeah.
And you realize, like, wow, there's a strange, like, constant conflict going on in this world. I mean, there's very little harmony. In fact, the harmony exists with beings eating beings. That's when the harmony exists. It's all things eating things and things looking out for things that are about to eat them. I mean, there's a reason why deer perk up and they move their ears and their head side to side, because something's coming.
Yeah.
Always. There's always something coming, and that's why they run so fast. They're trying to get away from something eating them.
Yeah.
They're not chasing anything.
Yeah.
Deer run fast because they don't want to get eaten, which is fucked.
I saw a rattlesnake eat a squirrel
Oh,
in
shit.
Yosemite last summer. Yeah.
You saw it get the squirrel?
No, I saw him. He already had the squirrel, but I saw him take the squirrel inside of him, and you saw it move a little bit down his body, and then and everybody got close to him because they figured, well, he just ate,
Right.
you know, so he was a little more lethargic,
Yeah, you can do that.
and they crawled off. It was bad. I'd never seen a rattlesnake before. Never mind a fucking eating a squirrel.
I was running the hills with my dogs, and I ran over what I thought was a log, like a stick, like a large stick. And as I was in the air over it, I realized it was a rattlesnake the size of my forearm.
No
Yeah,
shit.
and I was like, oh, fuck. And I had to keep my dogs back once I realized that it was a rattlesnake, because my dogs have been bitten several times.
By rattlesnakes?
Yeah. My dog Frank, he got bitten twice. And my dog Lucy, she got bitten once. And their face swells up like it's bad, man.
Wow.
It's bad.
But they'll go and attack the rattlesnake even though they know they'll get bit?
Well, they'll bark and they get near it and they
Yeah.
bark, and then the snake just bites them in the face.
Yeah, wow.
They don't know what it is. They just know it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Like something in their doggy brain is like, this ain't cool. Like, what the fuck is this thing? And they bark at it. Whereas, like, they don't bark at squirrels. If they see a squirrel, they chase after it and they try to kill it.
Yeah.
But if they see a rattlesnake, they get close. And I don't know. I wasn't there when it actually went down. I was there in the aftermath. I saw the snake. I pulled him away. I looked at him. I looked at his face. And I'm like, what's going on? I saw little holes. I'm like, God damn it, he got bit.
Shit.
So I had to take him in. One time I took him to the... Well, you take
Would
him
he
in.
have died if you hadn't taken him in?
Probably eventually. Yeah, it takes a while, but they swell up like crazy. Like the side of their face becomes like cartoonish where they got stung. Especially a young rattlesnake. Young rattlesnakes are the most dangerous because they don't know any better. They empty out all their venom in one shot. The old rattlesnakes just give you a little taste. It's like, take that, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But they keep some for themselves just in case they have to bite you again or bite something else an hour later. But one time, Frank got bit. And I looked at him, and I killed the rattlesnake, and then I looked at him. And
How'd you kill it?
I think I used a rake. Forget what I killed it with. I just killed it. But then I looked at Frank, and people were like, "Why would you do that?" Because it's in my yard. Yeah. Sorry. See that fence? You get inside that, you're dead. If you can kill me, you're dead. You fucked up. I kill you in my house. I'll kill you in my yard.
Right. If you're in my yard, you'll come in my house.
You're dead. You're dead. Coyotes, dead. If I'm practicing archery in my yard and I see a coyote, yes, I'm shooting that thing.
Joe Rogan once
100%.
killed a bat in my apartment for me.
Right. That's right. I did that.
Yep. With a tennis racket.
That's right.
Without even thinking about it. Then sat down and watched TV 5 seconds later.
I ran after that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disturbing to switch.
Wait, so then what happened with Frank?
Oh, anyway. So I brought him to the vet, and the vet looks at him. This is like after, like, the first time Frank and Lucy both got bit, and then this is like maybe a year later. I wasn't sure if he got bit because I saw the rattlesnake and I saw him. I killed the rattlesnake, and then I'm like, come here, buddy. Let me check your face out. And I'm looking at him, and I don't see any marks. And I'm like, well, you seem all right, but fuck, I don't know. Come on, let's go. And I take him in the back of the truck, and I take him down to the vet, and the vet checks him out, and he goes, oh, I don't see any swelling. Everything seems fine. I'm like, all right. And then I take him back home, and his face starts swelling.
No
like a
shit.
delayed reaction.
Yeah.
I think maybe he got like a small dose. Like it wasn't a lot, but within, and that, he's like, it's hard to tell because his adrenaline is so fired up. You know, his tongue was out. He's like, and he was like so excited to, you know, he liked to get in the car and go drive around.
Yeah.
And he seemed normal. But then an hour or so later, after I got him home, his face started swelling. So I had to bring him back in. You got to give him the anti-venom. It's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
It's thousands of dollars. So if you're broke,
No shit.
It's no joke. So if you're broke and your dog gets bit, it's a fucker, man.
You gotta suck it out yourself.
Yeah, you can't. That's a myth too. The only way you could suck it out is if you get it right when it's happened. Like if it bites you right there, you make a tourniquet. You got to cut yourself too. You can't be shy about it. You got to cut into where that area where that fucking snake is. Squeeze it and suck it out. And you're probably not going to get it all. You're going to get some of it. But have you ever seen what happens to a person when they get bit by a rattlesnake?
No.
Oh my God, we are so weak. We're water bags. We're just little bags of water. We're just so weak.
Yeah, we're allergic to everything.
Yeah, this guy put a website up that documents him getting bit by a rattlesnake. Like after he got bit, him seeking treatment. The necropsy. What would you call it? What is it called?
Necrosis.
Necrosis. Yeah, necrosis when the skin's dying and the tissue's dying all around the wound. And he had to get skin transplants and all this crazy shit. And it took a long time. And he documented the entire procedure. This is one guy that got
Whoa.
bit. Wow.
No shit.
Texas country star Kevin Fowler posts gnarly rattlesnake picture. And this guy has his hand looks like, it looks like he has a globe in his hand. Like his hand is swollen and black. So far swollen past
Wait, scroll down.
size.
Look at that guy's forearm. A little further. Look at that.
That's the one. Go to that website. Visit page.
Holy
this
shit.
is the very website where it documents this guy. That's actually one photo that's taken from the website, but there's a website where it shows. This is the absolute one where this guy got bitten and his skin all died. His skin died, and I believe it was a young kid too. I don't think he was very old when this happened.
And they just put mesh over it.
Well, that mesh is so that his skin grows in place, and then they take the graft and they try to put it over that. But it's rough, man. It's very, very fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
You got to write rattlesnake. You can't just write. But anyway, no bueno.
I was on that same trip to South Africa. My daughter was probably about 3, and then we went down to the in Cape Town. There's the Cape of Good Hope. Is that the little thing that sticks out there?
Oh no, I haven't been.
And you can hike through this field and get to it is like the southwestern tip of Europe, of Africa. And so we go down there and we get out of the car and there's all these baboons and they're fucking vicious and they're aggressive. And the park ranger was like, yeah, you may want to keep her in your arms the whole time. And I was like, why? And they're like, well, if the snakes don't get her, the baboons are just going to grab her.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine that shit. Imagine watching your daughter get taken by a fucking baboon.
And eaten.
Or taken by a fucking giant boa.
Chimps take them too. Up. Chimps take babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
That would be close to... up there with your worst nightmare, top 3 worst nightmares.
Yeah.
Baboon taking your child as they scream.
Yeah, baboon might even be worse than a lion.
Yeah.
Both would be horrific, but there's something about a primate doing it.
Yeah.
Baboons are so weird. It's like a monkey fucked a dog.
Yeah.
It's some weird sort of half monkey, half dog face thing.
Just so aggressive.
So aggressive.
And their hands are just long arms and strong hands come right at you.
Creepy fucks.
Yeah. Shit.
You ever seen a documentary they did with they tamed dogs, like baboons actually tamed dogs, and they taught these dogs how to be like watchdogs. They took these dogs in and fed them, and they had these tribes of baboons, and they had figured out.
Did they set this up as an experiment, or it just happened?
No, the baboons did it. The baboons kept these dogs and fed them, and then the dogs stayed around them, and when anything would come near, the dogs would bark, and the baboons would come out and.
No shit.
Yeah, they're smart as fuck, dude.
Damn.
They're creepy and their world is harsh, and so their actions don't seem like intelligent actions. They don't have community, and it's not like they have a language and rampant use of tools or anything like that. But they're very intelligent.
Yeah. In
some sort of a weird way, they figure out problems.
And then we stick them in steel cages for life.
There was an article that I tweeted today. See if you can see that they believe that chimpanzees and monkeys have just started using stone tools over the last 4,000 years. and that chimps are entering the Stone Age. Like
Oh, wow.
they are evolving. Chimps and monkeys have entered the Stone Age.
In
Look
the
at this.
wild.
Yes, in the wild. They're actually evolving. And that this could eventually lead to chimps becoming something very different than what they are now. That what we're seeing now, a million years from now, chimps might not be chimps anymore.
They could become Neanderthals.
They could become us. We've only been us for a couple 100,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm listening to this book right now on tape about, like prehistoric man from like the first socialization.
What's it called?
Sapiens.
Who wrote that?
Who wrote Sapiens? Yuval Noah Harari.
Whoa. What a
And it's
name. What a name, Yuval.
A brief history of
Harari.
humankind, and just
Good
talking
stuff.
it's talking about how Neanderthal man and what was the one and Homo sapiens, which is what came after Neanderthal. People think there was like a timeline because when you look at timelines, it lists one, then there's a line segment, and then the next one starts. But there was a time when they were both on the Earth at the same time, and they were fighting, and Neanderthal was fucking way bigger and more powerful.
Way stronger and bigger brains.
And big, right.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
And they don't even know why. They don't know if the brain was bigger to control the body because they don't have one to study. There's all this speculation of how smart they were.
Yeah. And it was a battle, and the Sapiens won because they had techniques for working as a group and surrounding the other ones, and they used tools. I don't know if it was rocks or whatever it is that they used that the Neanderthals were not using.
I think they just divided them and fucked them all.
Yeah.
And then they became us.
Oh, did they?
I don't know. That's my theory.
They were on top.
I wonder, man. I mean, they know that there was some interbreeding.
Yeah.
Or at least they believe there's some interbreeding. And they recently found a bone of an ancient Neanderthal that had human DNA in it. And so they're like, well, what the fuck? You
Wow.
know? Like, yeah. See if you can find that, because I think I tweeted that recently too. But I might not.
But
tweet it,
human,
just
you mean
Google it.
sapien?
Yes, Homo sapien
Right.
DNA.
Right.
DNA. I mean, because I guess Neanderthal are human, a type of human. Is that what they are? How's that
Yeah,
work?
I guess there's Homo erectus,
Right.
Homo whatever, and then Homo sapien is what's considered modern man.
Yeah, they don't necessarily. Here it is. Humans mated with Neanderthals much earlier and more frequently than thought. This is really recently. This is February 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah. People will fuck a sheep. We'll fuck anything.
I can't believe I never fucked an animal. I was so horny when I was a teenager. I think because we didn't have pets. It's the only thing that
If you had a
stopped me.
dog, do you think you would have fucked it?
I would have fucked my dog, definitely.
Okay.
But depending on the kind of dog it was.
Well, also, we grew up without rampant access to pornography like these kids have today.
Yeah.
Like, if a kid today has an iPhone, you got all the porn in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, at your fingertips, bam, you can watch people fuck.
All I had was a sheepdog, some Vaseline.
It's hard back then.
Yeah, I can. And the final nude edition of Playboy's coming out. Pam Anderson will be the last nude model in Playboy history.
Great. No one wants to see naked anymore. Perfect.
What a way to go out.
Go out with a fizzle.
Ease us out.
Does she look good? Well, even if she doesn't look good, what you're looking at is not really that person anymore. You're
Yeah.
looking at Photoshop elements.
Yeah.
You're looking at.
Well, you mean physically that she's
Yeah.
not her own parts.
Well,
and then they'll Photoshop
yeah.
it on top of that.
Well, yeah, you're not looking at the real image.
Yeah.
You're looking at some distorted. Like have you ever seen what they do? Like they've shown like the real image versus what they do. And here she is right there.
Oh, she was a beauty in her day.
Yeah. Time is a motherfucker.
I'll be leaving
son.
this off of YouTube too.
Yeah, please do.
That
Thank you.
sex tape in her prime was
She
so
was hot.
amazing. She was
was
so
hot.
hot.
But-
Wait, these aren't the most recent ones.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Oh, really?
This was from December.
Yeah. See, it's all like weird black and white, but they like stretched out her ass and
Yeah.
got
There's
rid of all
three
the weird
guys hiding
lines.
behind her pulling skin right there. She got midgets.
Fucking high-powered fans blowing her sag up. She's right next to the star of Heft. I don't know, man. It's like
If she was smart, she would have made herself look at least a little bit old in these instead of she looks 19.
well, it's like everything's blurry and hazy, It's like you're looking at her through the fog, like a spotlight in a foggy room.
Any shots of her feet?
Just the shoes.
Feet don't age.
Yes, they do. Boy, do they. Okay, come on. She doesn't
Look
look
at the
that
hemorrhoids
good.
coming out of her ass.
But that is not what she looks like. She just doesn't. I mean, that's just not accurate.
That's so stupid. Look
She
at the
looks
belly.
great
She's
in
had
that
kids,
picture.
right?
Yeah, she's had kids, but she's also 50. You know, I mean, she's not a Cindy Crawford 50 either.
Cindy Crawford looks great.
She still
I
looks
bowled
great.
next to her recently.
You were bowling?
Yeah, we
next to
did this
Cindy
thing.
Crawford?
We help out with these retarded kids. It's
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
mentally, intellectually disabled children. It's this group that me and my son work with, and they do a bowling thing to raise money for them, and you bowl with the mentally challenged kids. And she's really active with it, and she's out there with her kids. Her daughter's a model now. Her son's a model. And she looked fucking great.
She's like 51.
She looked 30.
Yeah, amazing. Once they hit a good 30 too, not like some 30s.
Right.
You know, I knew a girl when she was 19, and then I saw her again when she was 27, and apparently she had a meth problem.
Oh.
And when I saw her when she was 27, she looked like she had been to hell and back, and she looked easily 50.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even 30 yet. And I was like, wow, like meth. Something about stimulants, man. That redlining the system, boy, you pay for that.
Yeah.
You pay for that
Well,
one.
it dries you out.
Oh, she looked terrible.
Yeah.
Terrifying, too. Her skin was hanging off of her bones. Her muscle tissue had all gone away. It had all atrophied. So what the plumpness of youth had all been replaced by like this dead air.
Yeah.
And her skin was like looking for all the meat that used to be there to hold it in place. And it was just sagging. And oh my God.
And you know she chain smoked the whole time.
She was definitely chain smoking. She was a smoker, but it was sad.
Mm.
And she was so apologetic about the way she looked. It was really disturbing.
I just saw this girl that I hadn't seen in a while, and she gave me a hug, and she goes, "I'm sorry, I got really fat." I'm like, you're apologizing to me? Yeah. It's like, that is so weird.
It might be the same person did the same thing to me. We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. This girl was never on drugs. She just put on weight.
No, different girl.
Oh.
That just did that recently to me.
Oh, okay.
Said,
It was
"I'm
at the
sorry, I
Comedy
got fat."
Store.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we'll talk. We got to end this thing anyway. I got to get the fuck out of here. Tomorrow, Greg Fitzsimmons and I will be performing at the Improv in motherfucking Hollywood. Are you still doing your show on Sirius, or is it only a podcast now?
Still do the show Monday nights on Sirius. It's the Greg Fitzsimmons Show on Howard 101. Then the podcast is FitzDog Radio. I just had Ari Shaffir just came on.
Bam.
Duncan Trussell just came on.
Bam!
Judd Apatow just came on. Those will all be up in the next week or so.
Excellent.
And then Denver, Colorado. Can I plug that?
Comedy Works.
Comedy Works in Denver coming up on the 24th through the 26th. And then I am in,
one of my all-time favorite clubs ever.
Sacramento Punchline, April 15th
another
through
one of my
18.
all-time favorite clubs.
San Francisco Punchline, April
another
21
one!
through 23. And then other dates, comics in Connecticut, all at FitzDog.com.
The comics in Connecticut can suck my dick, but the other clubs are great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. See you soon, you fucks.